Is it
Comics Wellspring.
And yeah, this is printed with Comics Wellspring. Came out beautiful.
High quality stuff. People think it's fantastic. All the books that you see at my table are through Comics Wellspring.
All right. Not here, but I'm thinking like there, right? Like
you gotta give
So one up,
but you gotta give me angular. You can't give me arched eyebrows like a fucking cartoon character.
So wait.
You gotta give me angular eyebrows, and one of them's gonna be arched like the Rock. Right?
So one
You gotta make me look like the villain from Flash Gordon.
Like I'm saying, like one up and right, and then the other one like.
Yeah, like questioning.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and then
Like
the eyes.
Yeah.
Like he's questioning.
Oh yeah, like that. But it should be more angular, like a
Like he's saying with like a V
sharp.
shape.
Oh,
V,
more like,
yeah,
more
like
like
very
this?
like yeah. What do you think about that?
Something like that.
Yeah.
All right,
That's a
let's try
Mr.
that.
Mix-Up.
All right, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. All right, everybody, we're here at SPX. I am Johnny C. I'm here with my good pal Dino. They've decided by committee that I am missing eyebrows, so Dino here is gonna put some eyebrows on me. You ready?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
I think I started this side.
Yeah, hold on, let me get the hat off. There you go.
Go.
Taking on a Submariner type of look. Looks like an early Submariner in an amazing way.
Do I look like I could be fucking Sue Richards?
Oh, dude.
Right on.
Me, Richard.
Or fighting Tony Stark.
Yeah.
There
we go.
There you
It's
go.
like Spock.
This is what it's like to get cosmetic surgery from somebody who worked at Marvel. Yeah, this is next level shit. This might be the most valuable fucking thing illustrated at SPX this weekend. Thanks, brother. That's fucking dope. That's dope, dude. Thank you.
Available now in the Philview February catalog. It's The Mighty Mascots. Born from a 3D printing accident, the weirdest superhero team ever hits comic book shops this spring. From Filbo Distribution. Featuring a killer variant cover by the legendary Chris Giarusso. Ask your local shop to reserve copies today. The Mighty Mascots, Issue 1.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Indie Comics Relay. I'm your host, Keith Gleason, creator of the Mighty Mascots and promoter for the Plastic City Comic Con. With me, as always, Johnny C., creator of Sartan of the Comics, surrounded by death and the pond. For who, Johnny?
My good cousin Roger Morocco.
And our third co-host, the Time Lord of Tangents himself, Harry G. What is up,
Hey,
fellas?
What's going
Not
on,
too
guys?
How's it going?
It feels like it's been longer than 2 weeks, hasn't it? Like
It does.
It does, but it also feels appropriately timed, like just right.
I think you're right. Well, one quick
next-
show note:
next
we're
2
actually
weeks-
live next Monday, too. I'll mention it again at the end of the show, and we're doing that because we want Memorial Monday off, Memorial Day weekend Monday off. So that's why we're doing it. But anyways, Harry, you were going to say something.
No, I was going to say the next 2 weeks should correct the problem of it feeling like 2 weeks or longer. Since people
Probably.
make up for it.
Probably. So we mentioned conventions. Johnny was at Saratoga Comic-Con on Free Comic Book Day weekend. And me and Amy were at the That's Entertainment mini Free Comic Book Day con that Saturday. And I talked to Johnny briefly about it. He said it was a really good show, right, Johnny?
Yeah, Saratoga was a lot of fun. A lot of the Saratoga city came out, celebrated the con like they do twice a year. It was one of the funnest sketch offs I ever did. And it was a good time all around.
Is the attendance keep going up at that show? Like, or has it reached like a plateau?
Do you know what it reminds me of? And I think you will understand this, and people who are local to Massachusetts will understand this, is that Saratoga Comic-Con is like the way Super Mega Fest used to be.
Okay.
Where it doesn't matter who's there. It's kind of got this like legacy where it's just people show up, right? So like it's consistent. And I mean, there's usually one show that's more attended than the other. And really that's based upon like what else is happening in downtown Saratoga at the time.
Yeah.
But people will come out consistently for the show. And it's funny. I've watched attendees grow up over the last 10 years of me being there.
That's crazy.
So it's just like seeing people, even people coming up to me and going, dude, like, thank God you're still here. Like, because it's like every year I feel like it's going to be my last one there.
Yeah, right. Well, I feel like you're a fixture now. Like you got people go there, and one of the things they got to see is Johnny C.
Yeah, maybe, I don't
know. We had a great time at the That's Entertainment show as well. It was like a nice 5-hour. But man, do they know how to do it right down there? Harry came down and visited us.
Nice.
And, I was impressed at how busy it was, huh, Harry? It was like you came around.
How big it was? I had no idea.
Yeah, like
Pretty
you
big,
came around 2 o'clock, right? Like something like that.
I figured the crowd would disperse by then.
The line was going for free comics. It was crazy.
That is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So the way they do it is they put all the free comics in the same room as all the artists. So you kind of have to go around all the artists and stuff to see, to get your 5 free comics. And then,
which is cool because they have to kind of check everybody out and patronize.
Yeah, right.
Not necessarily patronize everybody, but at least check everybody out and look and see everything. You know what I mean? Which is, I think, cool. And I'm always jelly because I've always wanted to set up over at Datsy. And I even asked you for a referral, but it's almost always consistently the same weekend as Saratoga.
You know what one you got to try to get in? They usually do. I think they do a Batman Day, and then they also do a Halloween one, like a Halloween.
Might have to try for a Halloween one.
You'll probably have to try for that one. I know October gets friggin' nuts with conventions, but maybe try for the Halloween one. But yeah, it was good. I mean, like I didn't really get to talk to many of the. Tim Jones was next to us, which was nice. I got to talk to him for a little bit.
Tim's great.
And then Dave Gordon, who was on. Yeah, Dave Gordon was across from me.
Dave's awesome.
That guy. He's such
so cool.
Dude, he remembered when he was on the show like months ago. Remember we were talking about his old comic strips, and he was like, "Oh, I'll bring you a book." Bring the friggin' book to the thing.
Wow, he actually remembered.
Yeah, isn't that nuts? Like he's like,
Very
yeah, I
cool.
remember. Yeah, I was like, so he brought it over to me, and I was like, oh, cool. And then I gave him a copy of Swamp Tales, so we kind of bonded over comic strips again. And he already booked. He's coming back on at the end of July, I think, because he's going to be doing Terrificon for the first time. He's got a table there. So
nice.
He wants to come on and promote that he'll be at Terrificon, and then he'll have more pages to show us that night. So.
Very
cool. Him again, yeah. I mean that being Gordy comic is such a cool idea and
so good. I've been traveling with that book and reading it a little bit at a time.
Oh, really? Nice.
It very much feels like reading a sitcom.
Yeah, right. It's like
So,
a comfort comic, isn't it?
A little bit. It's become a little bit of my comfort comic lately, which I enjoy.
He gave me a copy too, so I really appreciate it. It's very cool.
Yeah, and you read it, Harry, though, right? When he sent us the
right.
PDF, but now you have a hard copy.
Yeah.
Speaking of hard copies, next time I see you, Harry, I got me and Amy both backed Nandor Fox's Seasons graphic novel campaign. I didn't know she backed it, but we both got double copies. So I can give you a copy of Seasons 1 and 2 next time I see you.
All right, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I have no use to have 2 copies, you know?
Nice. Yeah.
Speaking of backing campaigns, if I can steal a minute real quick, something came in the mail for me today.
Actually, it's funny you say that.
It's funny I say that.
Yeah. And also Ara, which we haven't seen in a while. Ara, man.
Yes, and Ara actually spilled the beans right here. Ara, before I could even say, I'm hosting Sketch Off at Wicked Comic Con.
Yes, I love it, dude. That's so good. It's gonna be awesome. All right,
real
Johnny,
quick, I'm gonna open up.
Do we have
Kickstarter?
Do we have any unboxing today?
This is
music?
Fresh. We don't have any unboxing music. And you know what? It also came with like a note too. Like I love when there's a personalized note with Kickstarters.
Nice.
The
I have
papyrus?
this.
Boom.
Wow.
Oh, sweet, dude. This is the Besprinkled with Scarlet from Dr. Mask.
Yes.
Dude, you got to open up.
And I got a couple of promo ones
copies.
too. Yeah, no, he gave me a couple of them. So check it out. Look at this.
I did the lettering for the comic portions in there. Like there's a couple of comic pages in there.
This one's beautiful right here, the Virgin cover.
The covers are amazing. Yeah.
Oh, so good. Absolutely good.
Love the idea of that book. You know, it's like
absolutely.
It reminds me of the magazines, like those horror magazines that used to come out with like they're just black and white, like newsprint and stuff, you know.
Yeah, and stickers
well, he
and
packed
fun
it with
stuff in the back.
extras, huh?
Yeah, so much awesome stuff. Thank you so much, Dr. Mask. This is cool. This is why you back campaigns. You get cool stuff like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right here.
That and was I gonna say the once you read it, Johnny, you'll realize that Dr. Mask is actually the horror host of that magazine.
Right.
Which is
exactly.
cool, you know?
Yeah. I remember
we always just thought it was a
digital.
cool, clever nickname for Dr. Mask, and then it's like no, it's like he has a whole character, and it's like those old Tales from the Crypt books, you know?
Mm-hmm. Right.
I love that stuff. It's so good. But yeah, no, that's awesome. I'm glad you got that. I'm starting to back a little bit more because my hours have been a little better at work. But yeah, I kind of got killed with that. When Skybound dropped that new G.I. Joe one, I was like,
I know.
I had to put that on the
killed me
credit
with the
card.
Transformers one when that came out.
No, that's the next one's probably on the way,
know.
which is gonna kill.
I gotta save up for that. But the problem is, I'm also heavily into comic production right now, so a lot of my money is going to that. You know.
Oh, is it something you can talk about, or is it like?
Well,
early?
yeah. I mean, so issue 3 of Surrounded by Death is half done.
Nice.
I have another Sartana that's being illustrated right now, and there's the spinoff of Surrounded by Death. So all these things are actively in motion. And so I started actually building the Kickstarter page for Surrounded by Death issue 3, and it's been a while since I've built a Kickstarter page. And what I've actually been surprised to find is that you need to have a supplemental image now for each reward tier. It used to be you just write it in. Like now you have to have like an uploaded image, which is an item.
Oh, okay. It wasn't like that before, huh?
It seems like it's, I don't know. Maybe I selected the wrong thing. I don't know. But
I was used to that because Indiegogo usually does an image on there.
Right. But this is a requirement. So like I couldn't even build out a tier without putting an image there. And I didn't want to do a placeholder and things like that. So like, but I was just shocked that it required it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think like and
I understand why. I get why.
Are you gonna do the what is it called? The what do they call it? Like late pledges after? Are you going to do that?
Yes. So
I
I'm
guess
I'm
be
going to
careful
enable
with
late
that
pledges.
because I guess you have to, when you do it, you have to pick which perks are still going to be active after the fact. I
Oh,
guess.
and some are only limited.
Yeah, and I don't know how that all works. Like, because I don't even know if mine actually are even active. Like, because I heard Dean talking about it with his last campaign, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't even know that you had to activate them. Because like, Indiegogo, it just goes. You don't even have to do anything. Like it just
stays. Yeah, which is nice.
You know, which is good. But one thing I found out about Indiegogo lately, though, that pissed me off because I still have my my Mighty Mascots number 10 open over there. I never got notices that there was like 3 orders in there. So there was like 3 people waiting like 3 months for like the comic. And finally some guy messaged me and said, hey, you guys ever send this book to me? And I'm like, what the hell is this dude talking about? So I logged in and there was like 3 3 things I had to fulfill that they never told me about. Like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I was just like, this is nuts. So it happened when they did the changeover there, you know?
Yeah.
So I got to log in every once in a while and make sure there's nothing in there now.
Yeah, and not to take too much more time away from the first guest, but two more things I wanted to mention about Kickstarter was one, the way that the tiers are working is that you can select pick up at an event.
Oh,
so like,
really?
Say, for example, like if you're going to do like, oh, I'm going to do a San Diego Comic-Con cover. If you're going to be at San Diego Comic-Con, you pledge this, you can pick it up for me at SDCC.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, cool stuff like that.
That's
which I might
cool.
actually employ for maybe New York Comic-Con or San Diego next year.
Okay. That's cool. I like that idea. When do you have a launch date in mind or no?
Nothing set in stone yet because I'm still building things out, and I actually now like I'm getting covers and things like so. That's where I'm saying I have expenses because I'm having covers made. Like
you're getting some elements to make for the campaign. Gotcha.
Exactly. And the other cool thing about Kickstarter is that they also have secret tiers. Okay. So you could set up a secret tier with a secret link that like only you can send it to personalized people. Oh, like here's a tier to the campaign that's only for you. So like if you wanted to sell something super exclusive with like that's not publicly posted, that's like secret shared.
Yeah, like
get that
like sign up to be notified and get the secret link kind of thing.
Right. So that's possible too, which is really
that's
cool.
A cool idea. Actually, do you have enough to like make a landing page? Yeah,
not yet, and that's why I'm scrambling to get stuff ready because I want a landing page available for when Brian launches. Because I'd like to cross promote with him.
That would be cool, and of course we'll promote both of you guys here,
of course. But I mean, really, when it's Brian's time, I want to put the spotlight on him. But I wouldn't mind just taking a little bit of the after.
Yeah, tell him if he makes a video too, or I can tell him when he comes on the show. But if he makes a video, send it to me. I'll put it in that. I'll make a new countdown video at the opening, and I'll put it on the videos like the ICR Bits videos that I do every week. I'll do stuff like that because all I put on those videos now is like our stuff. But I don't mind sharing a creator's link to a Kickstarter and stuff like that.
And I think he's at about 20 signups.
Yeah, he's gonna get up to like 50 before he goes.
Tell him that I think for where he wants to hit. He needs to get to be
definitely
about 50
does.
Signups,
And I mean, I know he's excited to get it going, but you can't not do that. You know what I mean? It's not going to hit. It's going to be a waste of all the time building all this stuff and not be able to make the money back. So it's definitely got to wait, even if it takes another 6 months to build that up.
That's what I told. But he's also worried about losing people.
I don't know if he should worry about that yet.
Right.
He should be actually more. He should be trying to get that goal down a little more. I think to like a more of a reasonable level
and expect to overperform.
Yes, or try to supplement that other money somewhere else. I don't know, and it's hard to say. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, I don't.
All
wanna,
I can do is try to offer him guidance because I
Yeah,
trust you.
exactly.
You know what I
We're
mean?
already going a little late tonight, so like,
Yeah.
I want to get the first guest in, so we don't.
Yeah, let's
realize-
do this.
So
And
we don't,
this is a returning guest. We always love having him on the show.
Yeah, absolutely, and yeah, I haven't seen him in a while, so I don't know what
Been a
he's been
little
up
bit.
to. Yeah, so all right, let me go without further ado. Let's bring in our first guest, Enrique Lopez. Enrique,
Hey guys.
what's
Hey,
up,
Kike,
man?
What's
going?
up? Long time. Hey, Johnny C. Long time.
My
Yeah,
man.
dude, what's going on? I haven't seen you in a long time, man. What have you been up
I
to?
love hanging with Johnny C because he's the only guy who loves hearing his own voice more than I do. So it's always
He's not wrong. He's not wrong
it's
about
a
that.
battle of who can speak the most over each other. So it's awesome every time.
I don't know. I mean, I think you guys are both pretty level-headed. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
But
know.
anyway,
Yeah, what have you been up to, man? I haven't used to see you at every convention, and now I
I
haven't
know,
seen you
man.
in a
It's
little
like
while. Did you take a break?
This year I'm back mostly to doing shows. And last year was one of those years that I
Like
had
a production year, or
I had to take a step back. You know, my mind wasn't where I wanted it to be,
yeah,
and I needed to like regroup, get re-inspired, and I took that year off, and it's great now. Now I'm at the point that it's all like, oops, I don't care. Let's just rock and roll. Let's just be creative. Another thing is that I was about a year ago, coming up now in June. Yeah, it's been a year. I started. I was refusing to believe that I had any issues with sleep apnea. And
okay.
I was like, you snore too much. Nah, it's because I'm heavy. But no, it's always been the case. But this like, I really resisted this. Like even when I started in June of last year, I still wasn't doing it full way. Man, once I got into that, it changed me completely. As to the point that right now, it was weird that I wasn't even dreaming, man. At one time, I could not recall a dream, and then all of a sudden, it was like creatively, I was waking up creative, energized, and I'm thinking, okay, let's rock and roll. Let's do some stuff this year. And I'm lined up for 14 shows this year, and
Awesome.
on top of that, I've done like a whole bunch of podcasts already. So
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm like pushing the envelope, and of course, a few of the bigger shows have come back for me. For the first time in 3 years, I'll be back at Cincinnati at the Cincinnati Comic Expo this year. It's a big show. They're back in their old home, the big convention center, and I got called back. It's been 3 years. I'm doing obviously Heroes, Terrific Con, got Garden State later, and I'm traveling back again to Akron. Haven't been to Akron since 19. I'm doing Ocean City in Maryland this year as well. So and I'm doing a bunch of little shows. I'd always do.
Okay.
Like I got
like Plastic City,
show like Forest Hills coming up soon. And
Yeah, he's actually going to be at Plastic City this
and I
year.
go, well, it's not a small show.
Well,
It's
But compared to like say a Terrific Con, I would say it's a smaller, show. But it is pretty. I'd say we're definitely a medium-sized convention now.
yeah.
So you
With
have a
legacy as well. Like you have a mainstay legacy.
I do have a legacy.
Always people come back to Plastic City.
So and it's going to be my first time there, so I'm popping the cherry. So
So you have a
there you
show in Belgium too.
it's more like a visit to a comic star over there and stuff, and
Okay.
it's one of those things you can just put down on your expense report. There you go.
Oh yeah,
I like that. I like that.
And, yeah, I'll be in Bruges on the the 22nd of June. So I'll be
In
taking
Bruges and like overseas.
Yeah. This
Oh,
is
wow.
I'm going to be traveling to London for a few days with the family, then heading over there to Belgium, and then coming back. And it's going to be like I'm doing Lehigh Valley. They're celebrating the 25th anniversary this year, and it's the first week of June. I got to go on the road, hit Heroes, come back for 2 days, get on a plane, go to Europe, come back, and on the very next day I come back from Europe, I go to set up for Garden State. It's like back to back to back to back.
Wow.
And before that, I'm doing the Forest Hills just the weekend before. So it's like once I hit May, it's like the rails. We're off the rails, and but then I take July off. I'm taking July not because I want to, because none of the shows in July seem interested. It's like I've been trying to get into a few of them, but it's like, I mean, I try to ask for being a guest and stuff, but at the same time, I'm like, look, if you don't want to give me a guest spot, just give me your table. Just give me your forms to fill out for a table. Not even that. Not even that.
If they're not even giving you a form, forget about it. No reason to go chase them, right?
Yeah, it's like, so I just.
Well, that's the thing. There's plenty of shows.
Some of them, I mean, I know some of them are really limited in their spacing, so I don't. But I know this one in July that I'm looking at, and it's because it's way up north. It's much up north, but I know they only bring about 5 or 6 artists. Everything else is more vendors centric. So I'm like, yeah, I get that one was probably not a space for me. But there are a bunch of other ones out there that I'm trying to get into later in the year, in August or in September and stuff. And we'll see. We'll see. I'm hoping that
is this like a year
for New York this year and see if I can make one more run at New York.
Okay. So I was gonna say, is this year like you're doing like massive amounts of conventions? Is that what the plan is?
Like I said, I got 14 down, which is the highest total
that is
I've done.
A
lot. There was one year, 2019, was the year I broke. That was like the second year of doing major shows and stuff. I did 34 that year. Wow. And I mean, and every year Keith Williams, my buddy, he does like 40. I mean, it's like,
I see Keith a lot.
Yeah, Keith is everywhere. But this year like last year after doing only 5, and then this year doing 14, it's a big jump for me. And but some of them have just been like Akron's. Like Akron, I had not done it in many years, and the weird coincidence in the Kickstarter I'm going to talk about real soon. One of the writers for the book is actually the promoter of Akron Comic Con, and I did not know that. I mean, I knew of the guy, I knew the guy, but I did not realize he was a writer too. I was like, really? And we connected through the Kickstarter, and he says, "You want to come back?" I go, "Oh yeah, we will." So I'm doing I'm doing a double trip to Ohio this year. I'm doing the North Carolina and stuff like that. So no Florida this year, so we're taking it easy. I mean, though I was asked to do Tampa Bay in September, but the problem is for Tampa Bay is that I would love to do it, but it's just like the cost of getting down there. We'd have to drive for 2 days, and I don't really, and with all the gas issues now.
Right, exactly. Gas is crazy expensive too. I was coming back from Saratoga.
Flights now will be
hotels
that, right?
What?
I said even flights will be affected by that, right?
Yeah, it's like right now I'm trying to do a flight in August to Florida, and it's like $300. It's like, and that's just the economic. Like, we're not going to give you not even peanuts for you, buddy. Just here, that's $300 for you. Enjoy the drive.
My flight to San Diego is not looking cheap either.
Mm-hmm.
And then I posted this the other day. I was on my way back from Saratoga.
Holy shit!
And that says $9.44 a gallon.
That was in Saratoga?
I was somewhere along my way back from Saratoga.
Oh my God.
I know,
New York,
right?
Some state.
Upstate New York, yeah.
I've been wanting to do that Saratoga show, and it's always conflicting with other shows of mine. And it's always like banging into something else that and I go like, no, can't do it. No, can't do it.
I wonder if you would do well that show. That one is like a mixture of a ton of different things.
Yeah, that's the thing. So that's why I don't overthink it. I go like, I always prefer to stay with what I know.
Yeah.
Like this weekend, I did Phillipsburg, which is a high school show.
Okay.
And I did. This was my best year ever with them.
Okay.
And I doubled my best total that it was in 24. That was what I did with them. And it was because I basically really sat down and I tell a lot of my friends, artists and stuff, the days of lugging around everything because you don't want to be FOMO, fear of missing out something of a sale. I go like, look, I've done enough of these shows 4, 5, 6, 7. I've done Garden State 8 times, like Heroes 5 times, 10 times, 6 times. I already know what moves. There's people don't come to my table looking for my latest book right now. They're not looking for the latest like original art, let's say, for some shows. Other people are like, what is your little print you got this year? What mini canvas you got? and cool. It's like, for example, for Heroes, I don't take mini canvases. I don't take any other stuff. I'll take some prints because prints always go. But everybody goes there for commissions and original art.
Yeah.
So this week was, I didn't take any sketch covers, didn't take any original art. I took bargain art, which I call bargain art. Discounted, not bargain, discounted. Because I found a box of my artwork from the 2019, which is like, I look at it, go like cringe. You're like, okay, well, we were learning.
It's all got to move, right?
Yeah, we'll have to improve. So I decided, you know what? I had to do it. I hate the idea of throwing stuff out, even if it's because of what I did.
Yeah, no. Why would
so
you?
you
know,
like, you know what? I'm just
you
gonna
still did it.
Yeah. So I decided the little ones, 9x12s, I'll sell them for $20, and the large 11x17s for $40. And let's see what happens. Somebody bought $120 of them at the shop.
I'm telling you, dude.
And they're like, because it's an original piece at a really nice entry price. It's not the best you'll get from me, but at least somebody will enjoy it. So by judging what I knew what I was going to bring, I had a record year because I did not waste my time bringing stuff that I knew nobody's going to look at. Nobody was, and therefore my table was what people were looking. And also, in this case, I got lucky. Usually I have Bob Sharon and Keith Williams next to me, but this year they moved them to another side and they left me in my spot. But they put a guy who was selling Pokemon cards and Magic cards. And I first thought, I was thinking, well, that's not great. But it was great because all the kids that were in line and their mom was waiting in line and they were checking out my stuff. Oh, $5 sketch cards? Oh, those are pretty cool. You want one of them?
Oh, okay.
All the kids were like waiting in line. They were looking over my stuff, and it worked. So I think it actually helped at one time having those people waiting to find the Pokemon card, which were not cheap, man. There was one for $1,500. I was like, what the?
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm in the wrong business.
Dude, it's wild.
Yeah.
I deal with it at my part-time job all the time. They're just the people for those things are insane, dude. Insane.
It's crazy.
It's only paper. What do you, I don't understand the whole Pokemon craze.
Dude.
Like my little nephews, there's a whole binder filled.
And they're like slabbed, like mini slabs.
Yeah, right. They get them in like
how do you do it? I actually asked the dude, what do people do with that stuff? I don't know. They put it in a box.
Yeah, right.
Forget about it.
It's a game, but no one plays the game. Like they just into it for the money, you know. Like that's the thing.
Hopefully, it'll go up in value sometime. I imagine. I mean, we all did that. I mean, when I was in the 80s and 90s, we speculated with comics, thinking, "Oh, paying off my wedding with this, my kids' education with these." Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I don't think so. No, all those weddings were not paid.
You mentioned the mini canvases or whatever. I had this girl that I went on a few dates with back in the day, you know, like maybe a freshman year in college. And I had never known her to be an artist or draw or anything, you know, then I lost contact with her I had a long story what happened with us, but I met up with her later on, you know, years later, and she's all of a sudden a fine artist, you know. I'm like, oh my God, fine artist. Like I've been drawing my whole life, and I wouldn't call myself a fine artist, you know. I mean, whatever. Like, so what makes? I mean, so I'm looking at some of her artwork, and I, you know, it's okay, but it's like this baby looks like an 80-year-old man, you know. And I'm like, I don't understand. Like, I'm not to disparage her artwork, but anyway, long story short, she bought a few of those mini canvases, and she went to like a yard, not a yard sale, but like a outdoor sale, whatever. She had a whole bunch of like canvases set up on her desk with like little paintings on there, and people went up to her desk. It's like, oh, how much is that? It's like, oh, this one's like, you know, whatever it was, the price. It's like, no, the stand up, the canvas stand up. They want to buy the stand up thing that holds the canvases, the 3x3 canvas up, you know, like
the easels. Oh my God!
The easels. Like, can I buy the easels off? She's like, yeah. She sold all her easels without the paintings.
Oh my God,
that's wild.
I'm like, yeah, well,
she's a fine artist, you know.
It's a fine art. No, but the canvases I sell are really prints that I print on a canvas, you know, and I get them produced in Florida, and they're relatively economical. They're not that expensive, so I can put them at a really nice price for and at these schools, man, the kids love them because they're very light. They're 8x8. It looks really nice. You open it, it looks like it's painted, and you're paying a really nice entry level price for having an artwork. I've had teachers come and buy them. They say, "I love to put this in my school." Yeah, but then they end up buying like Wanda, the Scarlet Witch, or my Mutant Ninja Turtle one, which are like kind of violent looking. Or like, that's in the school, okay?
Yeah, right.
I want to see that kind of school, but it's like, so yeah. So it depends on the show. So every show, like for example, like when I do Ohio, especially Cincinnati, I know I have to take my big canvases because there's a big market for those there, and I have to go high on my horror gun because everybody loves. And say I go there and I have to stock up on my horror prints because Resident Evil goes crazy there. A Hellboy goes crazy there. All that kind of stuff that normally won't sell everywhere else. When I go to Ohio, it's like madness. It's like,
oh wow. So if
people like horror in that area. I mean,
it's funny that you say that because a lot of people are super into Resident Evil in Saratoga.
Oh,
it's like
really?
It's either like super anime, and manga, Anthros, or Resident Evil. Like those are the three things that like really sell at that show.
Huh?
It's so strange.
I mean, even years ago, I haven't used it anymore because some of the info may be off. But I used to have for just Ohio, my banner was to the Resident Evil because I wanted people to see that. I mean, everybody knows you from my link. So from the Legends of Zelda. So it's like they see it every show. But for Cincinnati, I'm going to pull it out of the moth. Okay, we're going to pull you back out because people got to remember. Hey, where's that guy with the Resident Evil stuff over there?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah.
Which shows are those in Ohio? Is it Cincinnati Comic Con or
it's
Cleveland
Cincinnati Comic Expo? It's the biggest show there. It's like right off the edge of Kentucky, which I like because it's a big show. It's a 3-day event, and it's very similar to the Heroes format.
Okay.
But here they have a lot of concentration of artists, but they still do the media stuff, which is not great at times. I prefer they wouldn't. But as a guest, I get a really good deal. I get 2 tables at a corner.
Oh, nice.
And then I'm profiled.
Can't beat that.
So it's like, and what I do is that anybody who comes in and they go into Artist Alley, I usually, like when people come to my table, I send them, okay, you like my stuff? Go over to table number so-and-so, number so-and-so, go talk to my buddies, go talk to those people. And I try to push them over there. Because if I'm having that moment in that a company or a promoter has given me the privilege of being a guest, I would love if I were like somebody else was in that same position to like, hey, go check out my buddy Kike over there in the corner, because the reality is, and I do this a lot. I try to do this at the show. This is a little tip for you kids out there trying to do good at these shows. I always try to get somehow to show up on the web pages and stuff, even if I'm paying for it, because it's just the impression, the illusion, the assumption that if you are there, you must be important. And just because of that, you will bring in extra people. And just even if it's a regular show I'm paying for and they're putting stuff up, I like to be on the page. Part of the reason why I go now under Art by Kike Studios instead of my own name like I used to, we're among the first people you see even if it's on a list, Art, I'll be right within the top 10 probably, because not many people have an A and another B next to them.
Right.
Well, Art is going to be among a lot of people like Art Studio Plus, but we're going to be in the top thing of the list. So I'm not stuck in the middle under Lopez or under Enrique.
It's like the phone book. At the top.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah. People who put IAAA associates,
right.
Yeah, right.
Man, I used to sell phone
man.
books.
That's a good idea. Yeah, it's like people that look at the list will see, I try to highlight everybody at the show on when I do Plastic City. I have a guy, I send him the entire list of everybody, and he kind of randomly goes through and, you know, at least mentions everybody at least once or twice on our social media. Because, you know, I feel like the big guys can be mentioned just as much as the little guys, you know, or vice versa. So I want everybody to be highlighted, you know.
There's a show I'm doing, and I'm not going to name it because I don't want to embarrass them and stuff. But not because embarrassing. There's just great people, and they've been very supportive of me. And when this year came around for their big celebration, their big shows and stuff, and they asked me to be a guest, and I was like, wow, thank you so much. You know, I really appreciate it. And it goes like, Enrique, the reason is not only that you're a great artist, is that we see your Facebook, we see your Instagram, we see your socials. You're always promoting our show. You're always promoting every show you go to. You push people to come to see you. You push people to come to see your other guests at these shows. You know, every time it's like my phone is constantly pinging, and I look up, oh, somebody mentioned the show. Oh, it's Enrique. They're saying like, I got people I'm paying money to come here. They don't do that. And because you're doing it, you get the treatment. We love you. And it's just one of those things I go like, it's great to be appreciated, but you would think that is something that everybody would do. Apparently it's not. Apparently it's not. You know, if anybody who watches me or sees me on any of these shows or sees me on my Facebook, you will notice that I switch off my right now I'm showing off this weekend's show, the graphics con. So it's in my banner. I changed my banner. Now, in a few weeks, you'll see the banner for the Forest Hills. And then I hit the big ones. Then I hit Lehigh. Then I hit Heroes and then Garden State. But those are already set up. Why? Because my point is that whatever little part of this algorithm that reaches you, I want you to come to see me. And if by any chance you don't come to see me, but you see, oh, what is that show? And you actually might bump into me at the show. You know, for me, promoters got to do their own job. They got to push it to bring people in through the door. But Absolutely. If you as an artist don't do your own job, don't complain to me later. Oh man, there's nobody here. How many times have you tell people you're going to be here? How many times have you posted about this show? There is a correlation between success and not successful at a show, how much you put into it.
You also got to be present when you're at your table too. You can't be on your phone. You can't, you know what I mean? Like you can't be doing other things. Like you got to be engaged with people as they walk by. And I find that people that don't do that are the ones that always lose out at shows, you know?
And always complain that they had a bad show.
Yeah.
Yeah, they bring their homework. They're like, oh, I got to do this work. Then don't do the show.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be better you send some representative of yours and don't show up.
Yeah, right.
than to be sitting there and working, because it really makes no sense, you know, if you're not going to be there. At times, look, I will fail. I will be on my phone trying to post something to happen or something. But then as soon as I see somebody, I will stop. You know, okay.
Yeah, right.
And that's why I like the small shows when I do them, because the small shows are the ones that you really get the young kids. And
you get seen more at smaller shows too.
And all these people coming to you to ask you stuff and everything. And I can sometimes see in a few of them that something I said to them really connected. And I thought maybe that's the spark this individual needs to like break out of a funk, out of a situation and say, I can do this. Yep. Let me explore. Maybe it's not even art. Maybe explore something else to get on with his life. I've always attributed that part of the reason I've been blessed in doing this work and I was able to start was my first interaction with one of the pros. Like when I bumped into the first time Mark McKenna, and I was just trying to figure out my way around. And Mark was like, hey, you know, what's the problem? No, I have trouble doing this kind of stuff with Inky with the hair. He sat down 15 minutes with me at the show, which was East Coast, which no longer exists. And he just sat down with me. We sat for 15 minutes showing me his technique. And then he says, why aren't you on a table? I said, because I don't know. He says, well, look, I got I have this show at a library next week. Let me give them your information and see what happens. Well, the library called me and said,
Oh,
you do want
cool.
to do the show? I said, sure, I'll do the show. So
is that the first show you ever did?
Yeah, it was my first show.
wow.
And I did it with my daughter too. So the very
that's
first show was a library show. It was a library show. We made, I think, maybe 25 or 30 bucks. That's it. But
still,
I mean,
like-
all the prints, we printed it out on our printer at here, the house. You know, it's like, it was just one of those things. And then the second person that really put me on the map onto this was when I met Keith Williams.
Yeah.
And I remember that I had like 8 followers, nothing like that. It was terrible. And on Instagram. And all of a sudden I'll notice that Keith Williams following you. Like, what? He's like, why? Why is this individual doing this? And I bumped into him in New York Comic Con that year, 2017. And I went up to him and I introduced myself. He knew exactly who I was. He said, "Oh, yeah, how you doing? I love your stuff." And I was like, "Thank you." It was like, and I asked him point blank, "Why did you follow me? I mean, you're Keith Williams. Why?" Never forget what he said. He said, "Because I see in you a potential."
Dude,
and that
Look
was
at
like,
that.
and I go like, okay. So ever since then, I've always been with the same attitude. Like any person comes up to me and I see something good and they show me something, and I said, "Look, man, this guy's good." I will follow them. I'll say, "Call me. I can be your mentor, if you want, with your parents' permission, anything, or contact me."
Yeah, you want to
questions.
give back like what these guys gave to you, which
Yeah,
makes sense.
absolutely.
I get that.
I'm always trying to do that. It's just the way we always talk about that we're competing against each other. Technically we are, because there's only so many disposable income anybody has. But
Yeah,
the reality is we're all in the same boat. We're all trying. And
Right.
just because somebody didn't purchase something from me was not a reflection necessarily on what I am producing. Is that I've always said art is very emotional. It's all inside you.
True.
When I see a person looking at something of mine and smiling, I know that deep down inside, some memory was triggered. Something is triggered that gave them that smile. At the same time, if somebody frowns and looks at them, it's not like this is garbage. It's that something in that piece interacted in their mind and their subconscious negatively. And there's nothing I can do about that. And there's nothing you can do about that. You just got to live with it. I've had a lot of stuff. I remember just talking for a person for 30 minutes, and they buy nothing. And they buy nothing. I'm like, well, that was okay. But hopefully they took something good out of the conversation, But that's why lately, anytime you see me writing, I say, look, come by my table for some great art and conversation. I love when people come and talk to me.
Yeah, dude.
And I like it because most of the time they will invest in my support, the art, do something, or they'll just find out something new and they go, cool, let me follow you here and stuff. And it's little by little, being out on the road as much as I've done in the past has now led me to, like, for example, this weekend, I had at least 5 to 6 repeaters come by my table. And people who have bought stuff before, and they say, "Oh, let me see what you got to this time. I want to keep supporting you. I want to keep." I've had people come to me from shows not even the same area, like from Maryland, and they're in this area. "Oh, I bought this from your store. I remember when I was here in Stellar Con, and you were awesome. I got your link. I love your link, and I bought the link here last year, and my aunt lost it. It was funny. She wasn't. What happened?" So, I gave it to my aunt to put it away so I could pick it up. When I came back, she couldn't find it. I said, "They lost it?" "Oh, yeah." So it was like, how much is it again? Well, it's $20. Like, "Oh, I don't know if I can." I was like, "It's okay. Don't worry about it." I go like, "You have $10. Yeah, I'll give it to you for $10 because you already bought it once. Why am I going to charge you like another $20? She was like, "Oh my God." Like, we're so happy with it and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Split the difference. You make somebody happy. Why not?
Yeah,
right?
why not?
It's at that moment. By the way, it was the last one I had of that link because it's an inverted link, which is really, really nice. Is that I took the image and put made it negative. So with the black background and the white as the inks. Oh man, it just looks gorgeous.
Nega
And it's
link.
double sided, so you get a lefty and a righty. So that's got to be I got to do.
Well, Enrique, I don't want to run out of time before we have a you sent me a couple links. One of the links is for a Kickstarter. Are you involved in a new Kickstarter?
Yeah, this time I was brought in.
Okay. Actually, I'm going to bring it up while we're talking.
Yeah,
here.
let's take a look so everybody gets context.
Caleb asked me a while back to see if I wanted to contribute in one or two ways, either do art for one of his stories, or if I had a story that I would want to contribute to the campaign. And I was like, well, what kind of stories are we looking at? I said, well, it's kind of strange, sci-fi, horror. I go like, well, I have this story I did 3 years ago. It is done. I just need to get it lettered. That could work. And he says, let me see it. And I said to him, oh man, this is awesome. Can we use it? I said, sure. Let me talk to the artist, because the artist and I had done this for another book that never got published.
Okay.
And he agreed. He said, yeah, man, go for it, because we get books. Again, we get books. We got books here. And it's a Kickstarter. It's going to get published. And I sent it in. And luckily, yeah, it was, he said, no problem. So because he told me initially it was going to be black and white, I had to go back in, because I wrote the story. It's called The Chasm. I wrote the story. I got a good friend of mine, Benjamin Worrell, to do the art, the pencils for me. Okay. Then I inked it. Then I colored it. Now I was using a technique for this one. That's mine. And now it's colored, because originally, hey, there's Ryan. Hey, Ryan. And
next level Ryan Santos, everybody.
Yeah. I'll see you at Plastic, bro. Yeah. We're doing the plastic show together. So it was going to be black and white. And then it's one of those weird situations that when Caleb went to talk to the printer, they actually offered him color for practically nothing. He was like, we're doing color. So a lot of us already had done black and white. So I told him, look, I got the colors still available. You go, oh, give it to me. Now, when I did it, if you notice it back there, and I'm going to pull it up here, I was just doing a test initially to see when I did the original color. When I started doing the color, I wanted to test to see if the fade and the palette was going to work. So I was looking at it and I was thinking, man, dual tone looks pretty good, but I don't know if the book, which is full color at that time, which I'll say was going to be Not So Fair Tales 2. We had done number 1, and number 2 thought was going to happen, but then half of the people didn't do their work, and then it got killed. So I decided, okay, what are we going to, let me try doing some coloring. So I was going to meet with the guys. They were at the same show I was, the guys who were running the Kickstarter. And I said, let me show it to them in color that I printed and see what they thought. And when they saw it, they look at it and go like, is this the colors you're going to use? And I was like, well, that doesn't sound good. I go like, yeah. Oh, because we love it, man. This is really good.
I think it's perfect because like the dual the mono not some it's like two colors using the orangish color, right? It makes the the white thought bubbles and speaking bubbles like pop and the suits and the space suits pop out. It's awesome. If you go back to that, Keith.
One of those things, like for example, on the first page, there's this nice little panel. That's the second page actually, but on this page here, you can see a little bit. That panel in the middle, I was looking to try to find footprints like that and some sandy effect. I just went to the moon landing.
Yeah,
that's the actual photo. I just scanned it and I redrew it on top of it with a light bulb.
That's pretty cool.
To get the effect, and it works perfectly. But yes, it's one of those cool things that by leaving the suits white with some little bit of color, like you see there, it just helps them pop out. And originally the story was to be based off like parables and little folk tales and stuff. This was supposed to be based off the tale of the crow and the pitcher. It's an old story in that the crow is trying with his beak to drink some water from a pitcher. He could not reach into the water. He decides to put in a bunch of rocks and the water level rises so he can drink. So I just took that premise and took it into the science fiction line, and that's why it's called the chasm, because one of the astronauts falls into this chasm, and to create the tension, he's losing his oxygen. So that's what creates the tension in there. Ben did a great job in creating taking from my little diagrams that I do, because every time I write, and even though I may not be drawing it, I still do layouts, because I like to see, does it flow? Does it work? And he stayed pretty close to a lot of what I did, but he expanded. Like the second page has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 panels because it's a 10-page story, but it felt like we could be longer. But at the same time, I like the fact that because we're restricting it, it gives it such intensity now, because there's so much stuff going on. I mean, there's one panel over here. There's one page that I love. We put 10 panels on it, man. 10.
Damn.
But that's, I call this my Watchmen homage.
Yeah.
It's like,
I love that.
It's like we did that. But the thing is that every one side of the page is showing what one character is doing, and the other side of the page is the other character's doing. So it really, really works. Ben did it really good job. And at that I actually had that in 3 panels, really long panels and stuff. He turned it into that 10-panel work, and it just worked. Ben and I worked really well. So it was a lot of fun to do. And the Kickstarter, by the way, it's already been funded, but right now.
Yeah, that's great.
And you can go in and just help. Already added, I think 3 or 4 more stories were added through the stretch goals. So I think you're getting like 12 to 13 stories, if I'm not mistaken. And you got a bunch of covers you can still choose. You can still get volume 1. Kayla's already asked me if I'm going to work on the 3rd one. I said, oh, we'll see. Because this one was easy to do because I already had it done, And right now I'm heavily involved with Triple Threat. We're trying to we're getting issue number 4 for Codename Hunter. It's already being colored right now after 2 years of delays. We're finally getting that one done. Now, issue number 5, he's finishing up the last few pages. So I should be getting that within the next few weeks. And I'll be inking that. Soul Eraser number 1, Eric wants to relaunch it because it's been so many years. He feels like he's a better artist. So he's redoing it. Some of the pages he wasn't happy with. So he's giving them to me to ink them. And I'm like, bro, some of these pages are really busy. I'm like, man, there's a lot of work in I'm looking at this thing. My God, when do I have to start with this one? Because each page each of those pages are so packed with information. It's going to take me days to get them done.
Yeah.
So it's just, I'm really committed to that. And one of the cool things, can't go into a lot of the details, is that for the Kickstarter, for Codename Hunter, we're planning to do a Kickstarter in which we're going to campaign for issue 4 and 5, both of them, because that's where the first 5 issues is one storyline. That's one.
Oh, okay.
That's their season 1, to say like that. And so it ends that line. So we're like, okay, so we're going to probably just do those 2, and give the top 3, the first 3 also available, so somebody can get them all. We're probably going to do a trade paperback eventually, but probably by the time we've done the next series, the next 5, then we'll probably do a trade paperback for that launch. So I don't want to feel like we're doing all the individual issues at the same time we do a trade for a few weeks. No, we got to give it some time. We're not Marvel here in DC doing that.
Well, yeah, indie guys, you got to give a little leash too,
Yeah, but so the whole idea is that there is going to be a stretch goal, and in that stretch goal, we will be taking the Codename Hunter character, and for the very first time, he's going to be crossed over with a character I wrote and created in 1985.
Wow!
And I'm bringing him finally to life. 2 years ago, one of my creations from 1982 found publication in a Kickstarter that I haven't promoted it as much because I'm waiting for the right time to bring it back. But for this one, we're going to do a crossover. And the problem was that I didn't know how to connect these two universes because there's no way they could be in the
It'd be
same
funny.
universe.
It'd be funny if the 1985 guy was frozen in time, and he came back as a 1985 character, like he was frozen in like ice or something.
But it's not.
I can see no man.
Like
it's going to
Austin
be
Powers.
figure it out.
Yeah.
But the
Right.
whole idea is that I'm writing acts 1 and 3. Ian is going to write the act 2, but he has to wait for me to write act 3 because he wants to, because of the way the idea is being set up. He needs to know what happens in act 3, so he can write act 2. So I'm doing that, and the biggest coup that I got for it, and unfortunately I will not talk about it now, is the artist I got to do my part, because Ian and I are going to do the Codename Hunter part. My character's part, those 2 acts will be illustrated by a good friend of mine. He lives in the area and stuff. And all I will say that this guy is marvelous. All right, so let's leave it at that.
Okay.
It's a good tease. I like that.
As soon as I told Ian that he said yes, Ian was like he could not believe it. I said, wait till we got to do a variant cover homaging one of his. I said, well, yeah, already.
It's not Marvin Hagler, is it?
No. It's gonna be once I announce it. Once I announce it, it'll be announced soon with the Kickstarter, obviously. But it was one of those it was something that he and I have been talking about for a long time. Because there was this, I don't know, maybe you've ever heard of it. It's called A Kid in a Comic.
I've heard of it.
Yes, a little news periodical which have stories in there, like serialized stories. And I had once been hired to do a story in there, but at the end of the day, I told them I wasn't the right fit, and they didn't believe me until they tried to figure it out. I told them it doesn't work with you. I told you. So it's like I had a bad taste in my mouth from that relationship. So I said, I'm not going to do anything else with them. But before that happened, I had actually spoken with this artist to do a story in there with my character serialized. So I said to him, and he said at that time, yes, I want to do it. But now I said, we're not doing that. We're going to do this. And he goes like, oh, that's even better. And the deal I struck with him, he really likes the idea of how it's set up. So I'm just saying that I'm thrilled to be working with him in this capacity. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think the fans are going to absolutely go bananas when they see this. It was very easy for me I wrote the first act really, really quick because I adopted a new idea that somebody, I don't remember I think it was Jack Purcell, the editor, said to me. He says, like, stop editing yourself. It's like it happens too often. I start writing and I start erasing and I go, no, or scratching out, no. It says, write it. And then you begin editing after you've written it. So I wrote the first act in one sitting.
Oh, nice.
It was like, boom. And I said, there's probably a lot of garbage here, but now we can sit down and see what pick and choose now. And it worked. It really worked because the inspiration was working so fast. And I'll tell you something else. I actually did it while waiting for my car to get the oil changed. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like that. Right. I was just writing down, bam, 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 bam. Oh, it's ready? Cool. It's like, so like, and that's how it works.
In the zone.
No,
the auto zone.
It happens. Sometimes it works. What was that? Oh, yeah, the auto zone.
You know, so you're an artist and you're a writer. So what do you enjoy? What comes more naturally to you, like writing or art? What do you say?
Writing is for me. It's like breathing. When I can do it, I sit down to do it. I spend most of the day is just creating the whole idea, and that's if there's anything that's bad or fault of mine is that I put it in my mind too long. It's like I have these ideas and I don't put them on paper because I'm constantly trying to fix them in my mind before I put them down. And sometimes I need to learn again, just let it happen, write it down and let go. Yeah. And sometimes I look back and I go like, ooh, what happened there? And I'm like, no, that's not right. And then other times I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I don't know. When did I write this? This is a pretty cool idea. Let me work with this now.
Mm-hmm.
And every once in a while, something will pop up from an old thing, and I will like, oh man, I forgot about that idea. Oh wait, now, and the funny thing is when I talk about these characters, like the one I created in '82, and this was in '85, it's funny going back to those old scripts and stuff. Which, by the way, this character I actually presented it to Dark Horse in '93. And I not only did I present, I still have the presentation here that I put everything in there. I showed them my timeline for 100 issues. I showed them where it was going to be the scripts for the first 12 issues. I did everything possible. I showed them diagrams, everything. They were like, I don't think that's for us. Fine. And I was like, so now if I had done that, maybe Image or somebody would have taken it at some time. But Image likes also you have it almost all done, and I wasn't all done. But the thing is that I created it in '85, and going over it now, I go like, well, I created that when the biggest way to communicate was a phone on the wall and a fax machine. A lot of stuff in there. I go like, whoa, we're not futuristic here now. I was like way behind. I go like, now we have like the guys were smoking cigarettes. No, now we're vaping. So it's got to change all these things. It's like,
or it could be a period piece.
Like the guy was walking around looking at things at bulletin boards. No, now it's got to be screens are constantly changing and touch stuff. So it's funny that after 40 years, I have to switch it up and bring in a whole new idea because what I wrote back then of the future is not remotely what it is now. You know, it's like way that was like in the 90s, man, the 80s to the 2000. You know, we're way beyond that now. And so it's funny how I have to change. Other things have changed, and like is not the same to write when you're 14, when you're 18, when you're 22.
Oh, it's different, yeah.
And now at my age, I've gone through a lot of stuff. I have older kids, female.
You have more to say now, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, no, I don't think about the damsel in distress kind of thing. No, that doesn't work anymore. So when I did the story for Whisper in the Woods, where it launches my Bolin character from the Chronicles of Galen, that story is very centered on a female character, which is very strong because she's actually a princess who's going to eventually become a queen. So it's very strong. He's being trained by a sensei to learn how to fight. So it's not this little girly thing. Because my daughters have all grown up to be very strong women. I also have a lot of women in my life, my mom, my wife and stuff. So it changes you. It's not the same thing. And of course, like I say, it's like a lot of things in the world have changed. So now I want to say things differently. I think I got other things to say. And regrets that I may have. So now with those regrets, I want to put them in paper. That's one of the stories I'm looking at. I'm thinking, what can I do with that concept? How do I get to that point? How do we show that now? And I'm writing this thing. It's supposed to be, it could be a comic, but it's like what I read somewhere once that's saying, just because you think you want to you're writing for a comic book doesn't mean that's the right medium. Sometimes,
right? Yeah, you have to see how it.
Maybe a novel would be better for it.
Right,
maybe
right.
A movie would be better, or a series. So the thing is that just because you want to do a comic with it doesn't mean it has to work as a comic. It's
right.
I'm writing it down and see where it goes, and then.
You mentioned coming up with the idea and then kind of putting it down, then revisiting it. I have always been like a firm believer that in doing that, if you can let a story cool or an idea cool and you come back to it and you're still just like as equally jazzed about it, you know you have a good concept on your hands.
That's what I always feel. Come back to it. If it's still there in your mind somewhere, always there.
Well, not only that, but it clears the junk in your head too. You can relieve
it's like
brain of junk,
yeah, exactly.
Get it out.
But yeah, I want to put actually we have the other guests waiting, so I want to kind of start wrapping this up. No problem. I want before we go, Enrique, we showed the Kickstarter. and I showed your website. Is there other places that people can find you? Like, what's
there are connections to find me on Instagram and on Facebook. You can always find me and Instagram is under Art by Kike Studios.
Okay.
Instagram is under my name, Enrique Kike Lopez. And there's an Art by Kike Studios webpage, Facebook page. But the webpage is the best way to go right now. I'm really putting a lot of time into it.
Yeah, I saw you have a link tree there too, so everyone can find. Like, if they go to the website, I'm going to share it in the chat again, just so people. It's also in the description of the video too. If you guys are watching this tomorrow, if you want to just check out Enrique's artwork, which is, I got to say, amazing. Man, you're getting better and better every time I see you. Your artwork is getting stronger and stronger.
Well, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. I try. It's like they say, practice, and hopefully you'll get better. And but one important thing is the studio is not just me; it's also my daughter, and she is a traditional.
Oh, that's awesome!
She's a fine artist.
Maybe a real one.
That's a good callback right there. That brings it back around.
Have you and her
collaborated? Yeah, she does a lot of oil works, acrylics, watercolors, and just to throw in the last thing, I'll be at Graphics Con in Midtown, New York City this weekend on Sunday in the Midtown Hilton.
Awesome.
With my daughter. We're both we're both special guests.
Have you guys collaborated on a drawing before or a painting or something?
We did a few things a few years ago. She did some manga style things that I inked over. But she is not, we are not in the same realm of what she likes to do. Right now, one thing she does really well, and she's not like, whoa, I love to do it. She's just really good at it. She's doing animal portraits, man. And she is really, really good. Nice. She does them in oil, and they look up fantastic. Fantastic. You can see those on the webpage. Webpage. And, and for Christmas, she does a little animals like stickers and stuff, so you can go get those.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know you want to keep me out. You want to keep me out? No problem.
Well, I'm sure me and Johnny will run into you at plenty of conventions this year.
100%. I always see
you'll see me in August.
Plastic City.
Plastic and probably Terrificon, right? You're going to be at Terrificon? All right, cool. Yeah, I'll see you at both of those then.
Definitely.
All right, well, Enrique, thanks for showing this to us, and congratulations on hitting the goal with the campaign.
It was a very short campaign, but it's good to have done it, man. It was great.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, dude. Well, have a great night and good luck. Keep moving forward, dude.
Yep. We'll talk soon, guys.
All right.
Take care, Kike. Good seeing you, man.
All right. See you, Enrique. Awesome, dude. That was good. He's got a lot going on. It was serious too. His artwork is getting stronger and stronger every time I see him.
That guy's real funny because he said I could talk. I love Kike. I love when he's on the show.
Well, it just took the strain of running the show from us, Johnny.
Right? Exactly. I was kicked back. I was filing my nails. I'm good.
And then Wait in the Wings is another favorite of ours, which we haven't seen in a little while.
This guy in the back room right now, every single thing he writes, it's like he's writing it specifically for me, whether he realizes it or not. I love everything this guy has written. And even this new one is awesome. And it's got, you know what it is? This one is the most M. Night Shyamalan of all of his work.
Really? Okay.
It reminds me of many different things. His story. Yes. It's like, well, I'll let you know what it reminds me of, but
let's bring in
there's a nice big twist at the end.
Oh, okay. So that's why you're saying it's like M. Night Shyamalan.
Yes. Well, a twist that I don't want to spoil it, but it's a twist that calls back old work.
Okay.
Which I enjoy.
All right. Yeah, hang on. Let me without further ado, let's bring in Julius Freeman.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Hey.
How you guys been?
Good. If you hear us talking you up back there.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I appreciate the kind words. That's very high praise coming from both of you. Oh, the three of you. So I'm curious
dude.
To see what you guys thought.
I did download the issue. I just haven't had a chance to read it. I'll give you some feedback though once I do. I definitely want it.
All good.
I read it at work.
Nice.
Both of you guys
Nice.
did? You guys both
Yeah.
got to read it?
I
Awesome.
squeezed it in after work before the show.
Nice.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
Nice.
it
I
was
saw it too.
awesome.
It was a horror comic, which I love horror, so I'm
Yeah.
all in.
It's classic slasher. It's like
Oh,
this
good.
is Julius's love letter to like Friday the 13th and
Yeah.
things like that. Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%.
Well, I was saying it's The Strangers meets Men in Black meets Stranger Things in a way, because there's like a secret weapon, or what is it? Asset 13. So it sounds like a
Yes.
11 escape.
Ah.
Oh,
Actually,
okay.
I thought of the first thing that I thought of was a movie called The Guest.
With
Oh yeah,
Dan
yeah.
Stevens.
I haven't seen that movie, but I heard of it. Yeah.
Dan Stevens,
with
right?
Dan Stevens,
Yeah, I
where
love
it's
that
like basically like, what if Captain America went wrong? And then just showed up at your house. You know what I mean?
Right, pretending to be
Isn't that the
like
Winter Soldier?
was it what he pretended to be like the brothers like friend
The brothers
from
like,
something like
the
that,
brother's
yeah.
friend from like the military or something.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, and then like
But he was also like befriending them, but he was
Yeah.
also extremely dangerous.
yeah, but also like he had like the
There's, like-
skills to like
There was like a slight Amblin feel because he was like helping the kid with his bully, but it was also like he was wicked fucking dangerous and shouldn't be there. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I heard
Good
that movie was
stuff.
pretty good. I haven't had a chance to watch it, but I heard good things about it. Very.
I need to
I
watch
guess
it
apparently
again.
it's underrated or something like that.
yeah, it really is. Like it was very good when I watched it. I don't remember it as well, so I'd like to revisit it actually. So do you watch a lot of horror, Julius? I don't know if I know this about you.
No, actually, I don't.
you don't? Okay.
No, it's the funny thing about this story is that I didn't develop it. This was a work for hire gig.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah. So
Okay.
Chris, the writer was Chris Hicks. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him.
I don't know the name.
He was around the comic scene a few years back, but then
Okay.
he fell off and did want to do other things. But yeah, maybe I want to say 2022 or 2023. I can't remember which of the 2 years, but he put out a post on Twitter when it was known as Twitter. He said, "I'm looking for a writer to help me clean up this outline, help me develop the story." And so I, like everyone does, right? You just put your name in the hat and hope that he answers your email, because I think he gave us email address. So I sent the email, told him about what I do and interested in his project, because he said it was going to be a horror project. And I thought, oh, it'd be a cool challenge. I've never written a horror story before. I want to see if I can do it, and I knew I am a fan, but to an extent. Like, so yeah, you're right, Johnny. Like Friday the 13th, that was my jam, man. That was my jam growing up. That was my movie. I know everyone picks Halloween and Michael Myers, but no, Jason Voorhees is my guy.
Yeah,
So,
I love it.
and of course, John Carpenter is also a big time influence on me too, on my work, because I'm a huge, I love John Carpenter movies. Like I think I'm happy that he's getting his flowers now. That more and more people are finding his stuff and going, man, John Carpenter was amazing. And so I'm happy.
Always his career was always like he was just 10 years ahead of everything.
Yeah.
Because Big Trouble in Little China was such a flop.
Beautiful.
And then 10 years later, it was like the biggest cult movie.
And I couldn't believe it, because as a kid, I loved that movie.
This, kung fu stuff that
kind
of became like Crouching Tiger and all that stuff that kind of became part of the public,
it was the main inspiration for Raiden. For Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, the cool, just that guy, the electricity running through him. I mean, it's so cool, dude.
They Live? Was he They Live? Did he do They Live? That story? Who did that?
Yes, he did They Live.
They Live, yeah.
I haven't seen one of his movies. It's the one with I always forget the actor's name, but he was the guy in Jurassic Park. He was the main scientist in Jurassic Park.
In The Mouth of Madness.
In The Mouth of Madness, the only one I haven't seen yet. But I want to watch that.
Right. That one.
I heard great things about that one.
Ghost of Mars, you can kind of skip. That one's a little but
which one?
Ghost of Mars.
Oh yeah. That's another one. That's another one I haven't seen.
It's watchable, but it's really kind of it's I don't know. It's not as good quality.
The mid 90s, he started to get a little off the rails, because it's
Yeah, vampires is a little weird, a little.
I
off,
like
too.
vampires, but it's
I do
like,
too.
and even
I
Escape from
love
LA,
vampires.
like I like those movies, but they're not good movies.
They're
You know
not
what
as
I mean?
good as his earlier stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Of course, every storyteller director has their plateau, right? They reach
Yeah,
a certain
right,
level,
like-
and then they stick to what they
But
know.
he went.
Yeah, right.
But I appreciate that stuff too, though, right? It's like I
Yeah.
can appreciate the contrast between Escape from New York to say Escape from LA, where Escape from LA is almost comedic, and Escape
Yeah.
from New York is
Yeah.
like action satire, where it's like action comedy satire.
right.
You know, it's a
Right.
little bit of
The only one I never saw was I never saw Starman, the Jeff Bridges movie. I
Oh,
never
he directed
saw
that one too.
Yeah, he did that one, and I
Oh,
never.
I
I know
didn't
that
even
was
know
like
that.
kind of like a drama for him, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that was his answer to ET.
Yeah,
I
right.
think that's what
right.
that was.
I've never
And,
seen
well-
that. I always heard it was very good, though.
I heard it was very good too. I just again I didn't even know he directed that. But what I love the most about John Carpenter is his independent spirit of just like, I'm gonna do this and I don't care. I don't care
Yeah.
what people think. I don't
Yeah.
care what they say. I'm gonna make this movie because I believe in it and I'm
Yep.
gonna just make it, and I'm gonna make it the way I know how to make it. And I've always loved that about not just him, but every other auteur director who just like, I'm gonna do this. I don't care. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, then you don't. But I still,
Yeah, I mean, I feel like some of the best directors have come from horror. If you think about it, like Peter Jackson, John Carpenter,
I mean, Spielberg,
Sam Raimi, Spielberg. Yeah, all
Yeah.
these guys, they all started in horror, and I don't know, and like we always loved them, and then when we knew that they did mainstream movies, we're like, oh, that's just going to be amazing because it's Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
You know? It's like,
Yeah,
'cause you already
exactly.
know,
they're young, they're hungry, they
Yeah.
gotta deliver, or else you got no career, right? So that's why the
It's like
first
when
one
you
is
find
always
a good comic writer like early in his career, and then later on you see that, oh, this guy's going to be writing Spider-Man. It's like, oh, well, it's an automatic get because
right.
his early stuff is amazing, so his Spider-Man run's going to be unbelievable. It's
Absolutely.
like that kind of stuff, and like having that insider knowledge of somebody before they actually pop off.
Absolutely, I love that.
So, yeah, I do too. I love. That's why I always said to like people that collect comics for money, like I was like, you got to love it, because if you don't love it, you won't know what
Mhm.
books are going to be hot before they even pop off.
Yeah.
You're always chasing the trend after. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's how I followed Brian Michael Bendis' work, because I discovered his work
Same
through Powers.
same. Yeah.
And also
Powers,
before
and then,
that,
like,
what was that one
um,
before that? He did a graphic novel before that. It was a crime.
Yeah, it was like Jinx.
Yeah, Jinx. Yeah. That's what I was like, dude, this
Torto
guy's
was
gonna be.
amazing.
Yeah, when I read his stuff, I was like, "Ooh, this guy's gonna have a career here."
Yeah,
man.
this guy's next level.
He's on it.
And
Yeah,
then that's when Ultimate Spider-Man
Ultimate
came out.
Spider-Man.
Ultimate
Yep.
Spider-Man, and then up.
And everyone that
just-
knew Bendis before that knew that was going to be a huge book, and it was.
Yeah.
So that's just what the point I'm making is, like, if you know ahead of time,
Mhm.
it's going to be big. That's why I knew I didn't know Absolute Batman was going to go to the level it did, but I knew that was going to be a hot book because Scott Snyder killed it on his earlier Batman run.
And also he's done some great stuff outside of DC. Like he's done his own Image books, and they're still well written and well done. So it was.
Yeah, you kind of know.
I didn't think it was going to be that big of a hit, if I'm being honest.
Me either. It kind of took me by surprise a little.
Yeah. I remember at first, when I first saw the design, I was like, "This is going to suck," right? But then, as I kept looking at the design, as each day went by, and of course, people were crapping on it or loving it. It was kind of split.
Yeah, they were crapping on it before it came
Yeah.
out.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, totally.
Like
Whoever
weird.
says they didn't were crapping on it, they're lying to you.
Yeah.
They're lying to you, because I thought at first I hated it. I was like, this is gonna suck. It looks like crap. But then the more I looked at it, and then I just had to remind myself, wait a minute. He did say that this was gonna be a different Batman. It's like their own version of the Ultimate Universe. So once I got through that, I was like, okay, you know what? Let me look at this design again one more time. And so I started paying attention. I was like, you know what? Actually, I kind of like the design now. All right, this is starting to grow on me. And then as it got closer to the release date, I started getting more and more hyped, and then I picked up that first issue, read it, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be huge, man. This is gonna be so good. And he hasn't disappointed yet.
I don't know what like kind of fire he like this what sparked with other people, because like that's the interesting part about that book. It's like we all as comic fans knew it was going to be big, but like who else got into this? Like why is it so huge? Like, you know, like I feel like it's, you know, it's like a unique kind of thing. Like, you know,
my guess is a few things, right? So I've spoken to a few young people that I've met in my LCS. I don't know how it is the rest of the country, but in mine, every time, it never fails. Every Wednesday when the new Ultimates Batman is released, I'm there talking to the cashier because I'm really close with the employees there, and we're talking shop, and I see these young kids coming in. Do you have any more Absolute Batmans? Oh, yep, right there in the front, right? And they always go and grab it, go in line, thank you, and then take off.
Yeah.
And my guess is that based on this is not for recent, but in the year or two past, when I would just talk to other customers who I see are, oh, this guy looks really young, and I ask them what they look for, that kind of thing. And they always say the same thing, is like, I wish I can get an issue 1 of this book. And obviously we can't, right? We can't get Detective Comics 1. That's almost impossible. You can get the trade, but then after that, there's a whole, the 50, 100 years or so of like Batman lore, or like, where do I go?
Right.
Who do I read? Right. And manga, and that's the reason why they say they like manga, because I could always go to book 1. And so I think Absolute Batman, it's like a marriage of the two. They have a starting point now.
It's like a starting point, and it's one thing. Like you don't have to get, you know, Absolute Batman and Robin, Absolute Detective Comics, you know, it's just one thing. Like that's what I feel like it was too. Like it was kind of tapping into that manga formula a little bit, you know.
Yes. Yeah. And also the design too, it's very manga flavored. The big, you know, muscular hero.
Shockingly, I have to say, from in our store, the second biggest one is looking to be like Absolute Martian Manhunter.
I've been hearing good things, man. That book is a big buzz.
And it's constantly sold out at the store, more so than Superman and Wonder Woman, you know?
Yeah.
Which you don't expect that, right? From that type of character.
No, not at all.
Like not a character you
it looks very trippy. If you look at the covers and stuff, it's like, it looks
very trippy
and out there. Yeah. Like maybe that has something to do with it, but
who's the writer for that one? Is that Dennis Camp?
I think Dennis Camp. Yeah.
Dennis Camp. Yeah. So maybe again, it's one of those things where perhaps when DC Comics decide to, you know, create this absolute universe, it never fails, right? It happened with the Ultimate Universe, not the one recently, but the first one, the one with Brian Michael Bendis and Ultimate Spider-Man, is that the editorial probably gave them a little bit of breathing room to be creative.
Yeah.
And it's paying off, because that's essentially how it's supposed to be, right? You hire someone to be creative and just make sure, don't go outside the sandbox, but you could do whatever you want, just don't go outside the sandbox, you know?
Yeah, and I can't, I'm still scratching my head over Marvel, actually, about Ultimate Spider-Man. Like, they had this massive hit when it first came out.
Yeah.
And then here we are 2 years later, and it's ending. It's like, what are you guys doing? Like,
Talking heads, dude. Talking heads.
Seriously, like
you don't hire the king of talking heads to write Spider-Man.
Yeah, right.
Like you don't hire. It's like the analogy I like to use is that you don't hire Todd McFarlane to draw Smurfs.
Yeah,
that's a waste of talent. You know, you hire.
I kind of want to see what Todd McFarlane would do with Smurfs. Honestly,
I know you'd want to see that though.
But you know what I mean? It's like you gotta find the right fit, and as much as talented as Jonathan Hickman is as a writer, he just wasn't a good fit for Spider-Man.
Yeah, you need a guy that can blend action and
absolutely
like that. Yeah, like that's why Scott Snyder works, because he knows how to do both. Hickman is great for, like, did you ever read his Gods run on Marvel? He's great.
No, I heard that was great though. Yeah. I loved Shield.
Yeah, Shield was great too.
Shield was fantastic. Recently, Aliens versus Avengers was also fantastic.
Yeah, that was good too. Yeah, he's good with the high concept stuff.
Yeah,
like, you know, like
keep him there. Yeah, keep him there.
Yeah.
Keep them away from Spider-Man and find
Right.
exciting, fun writers, and because they had great artists involved in the book.
They did, yeah.
It's just that the writer just didn't mesh, so you need to find
what
writers who are
Marvel did,
comfortable writing action adventure stories, and then you would have had a hit in your hands.
Yeah, they're just dropping the ball left and right over there. Like DC is killing them, which I've never seen in my lifetime. Where
Never,
DC is
yeah.
number one,
Yeah,
and you're number one with less books.
Yeah,
books.
oof,
It's insane,
yeah.
like,
And we're a bunch of old hits, so we see, right? We've seen the big hits, right, that have come out since the 90s and onward. And yeah, you're right. I've never seen DC ever overtake Marvel in the market share. It was always Marvel. Marvel always edged over DC, and now it's kind of like, whoa, dude, that's kind of crazy. That
right.
Now DC is on top of Marvel.
Right? Marvel has a couple good books that I still enjoy. Like I'm enjoying like Chip Zdarsky's Captain America run.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm liking that. I'm liking Philip Kennedy Johnson is doing Infernal Hulk, which is excellent. And Joshua Williamson just started a run on Iron Man. That's actually
really? They got Joshua Williamson, huh?
Yeah, which
is he still doing DC books, or is he exclusive of Marvel now?
Yeah, for some reason they got him to write Iron Man, and I love his take on it. So.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'll have to check that one out.
I recommend it. It's only about 5 issues in, I think.
Okay. No, I love Joshua Williamson's work. He's one of the writers that I like. The modern writers I like.
Great. Like the thing that hooked me, and I'm just going to tell you the first couple of pages of number 1. It starts off with like you see Iron Man basically in this cave. Basically the origin of him, when he made the suit and stuff. And they're talking, and he's like firing, trying to get out of the cave or whatever. And all of a sudden you see this big missile come in and basically blow him up. And you're like, whoa, wait, what the hell just happened? And then you just see like AIM kind of come in from the outside of the cave. And they're like, oh, this experiment failed again. Basically, they're kidnapping scientists, putting them in the same situation that Tony Stark was in in his origin.
Oh my gosh!
Trying to create the next Tony Stark. Instead of creating a new armor, they're trying to create the next Tony Stark. And I was like, "This is awesome! Like, what a great idea that is!"
That is pretty cool.
And that's how it starts, and you're like, "Okay, I'm in. I'm already in." 3 pages
That's pretty cool.
Because
he's a good
writer, man.
Let's see how well they do under pressure. These scientists, if we could create another.
Yes, right. Isn't that a cool idea? Like
that is a cool idea. Yeah,
because that concept informs that. Is it the armor or is it Tony?
Yeah,
right. And that's really what it always comes down to in a good Iron Man story is that is it Tony or is it his armor?
That reminds me of a old Super Friends episode where the Legion of Doom go back in time at the origin of every hero. Like you remember that one?
Yeah,
they did like when Wonder Woman was trying out to be the winner of the Amazons. They like Cheetah cheats, and does something, and she becomes Wonder Woman, and like so basically every Legion of Doom member becomes the hero, like not the original heroes.
Interesting. That's pretty cool.
That's
pretty cool.
This was the cartoon.
A cartoon, series? Yeah, right. Yeah, it's pretty awesome episode.
Probably was one of the later seasons, the ones that had like Darkseid and stuff in it, because those ones were actually very.
Well, dang, man, that sounds like a story that I would love to read if it was in the comic series.
Right. I would love to see that too.
Dang, and that was like in what, the 70s when that
late 70s.
Dang, man, that was a different time, different kind of talent, right?
Well, the early ones were kind of goofy, but once they started adding like Firestorm and
I love that.
Those ones got like more serious and like.
Ooh, I'll have to check those out.
The later seasons, the last 2 seasons were a little better, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Speaking of Firestorm, they have a new series of that at DC, and it's awesome. Awesome.
Who's writing that one?
It's Jeff Lemire.
Oh, okay, cool. Jeff
Lemire.
Is he also drawing it, or he's just writing it and someone else?
No, he's just writing it. I wish he would draw it. He did do a couple of covers for it. So you get to see his take on it, but it's good. If you like Firestorm, check that one out. It's like going to be only a limited. I think it's only 8 issues or something like that.
I'm not a fan of Firestorm, but I am a fan of Jeff Lemire.
Yeah,
is it? Is it Lemire or Lemire?
Lemire or Lemire.
Okay, I can never tell.
He's someone I would love to meet at a convention, but I never see him at any shows. So, like I love his stuff. I love his artwork too. I love his writing and artwork.
He's definitely up there for sure for me too. Like modern creators, it's rare to get a writer artist,
combo.
Combo that actually does good work. I've seen lots that do okay work, but it's rare to get ones that actually do fantastic.
Yeah, they can do both and do it well. Yeah,
Mhm.
Shawnee, you look like you were gonna say something.
No, I was gonna say I like these like shorter like runs that they do where they come in and they do like a smaller run. There was what was it? I can't remember who did it, but that Vision run where it was like
Tom King
like,
and
the Tom King.
No, but it was like a 1960s series, TV series. It was like
Oh.
it had like almost like a Mad Men aesthetic to it. I forget. It's the tip of my tongue. I can see the cover.
Is it a comic or a show?
It was like Avengers Inc. or something like that.
Oh,
but
yeah,
it had
yeah.
It's just cool that they do these short little concept stories. You know what I mean? It doesn't really affect the rest of the canon. It's just like cool little like let like the writer go wild, and do this like
do something
creative
crazy,
concept thing. Yeah. I
love
like
that too. I like that a lot actually. But we could sit here and talk comics all
I know.
night.
Yeah, of course. That's why I love coming on this show.
I know.
Well, it's like a visit, like paying a visit to your local store.
Yeah,
right?
dude. Yeah. That's all. I was
Honestly,
really looking forward to be on your
talking-
show because of that.
Yeah,
reason.
I mean, I work at a store part-time, but the people that come in are always there for Pokemon cards, and it's like, come on, I want to talk about Firestorm.
Oh, really? That's a bummer.
Charizard,
Dang.
it's like, so it's like the store I work at is like half video games and half like card games, and then, like the other half is comics. And a lot of the people that come in and buy the comics they're like, hey, did you read this? No, I'm like months behind, and it's like, oh. It's like
I think so. That's like most readers nowadays. I feel.
Yeah, it's wild. Like
everyone's. I mean, I'm behind. I have a stack right now. That
I'm at least
read
a
yet.
month behind on everything, but I do.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Johnny's also suffering from the same fate. I mean,
my stack, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to keep up on my main books, but I'm always a month behind on everything, So, but I get that. But yeah, Julius, I've been kind of following, to kind of like take a shift into talking about yourself here for a minute. I've been following you. I got your newsletter, 2 weeks ago or a week ago? About
right. Yeah. The
all the
Substack,
stuff
right?
you've been up to.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to watch your YouTube video where you talk about why you've taken a sabbatical and everything.
Mhm.
But fill us in, because I know we haven't seen you in a little while.
Yeah,
and I know
yeah.
the last time we saw you were doing that Kickstarter that
I was doing the Ghetto Dragon Kickstarter, which didn't fund.
You're right.
And-
Yes, take it away, man. Let us know.
Yeah. So so it all started with that Kickstarter, right?
Okay.
So it didn't fund, and it's there's no one else's fault. It was all me because I didn't do my due diligence like you're supposed to do when you do a crowdfunding campaign, right? You gotta be months ahead, a email list and booking your shows like months in advance. I just didn't do that, and I was hoping that I would just by some miracle be able to fund and keep on going, but it didn't happen. So after that, I started really thinking about what I really wanted to do going forward, because not only was that a factor, but also I realized I didn't like campaigning. I really don't like it. I mean,
I gotta be honest with you. I am with you on that. I've done a bunch now, and it seems to be a lot of work. And then, you know what I mean? And then do you make enough to even cover your expense? Almost
exactly.
I'd rather pay for it out of my pocket and try to make it up at the convention scene or something,
Yeah. Same here. That's what the sabbatical was about. Was me figuring out what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Because this is not like a knock on crowdfunding. I'm not saying that I'm never going to do crowdfunding again. I'm still going to do crowdfunding. I didn't want to do, 3 or 4 crowdfundings a year. I did, or even 2 or 3 crowdfundings a year.
Yeah.
I didn't have it in me because I didn't like that I was taking away time from my kids. I have two small children.
Yeah.
And it's during of course, the dire developmental stage from, you know, they're from in between ages 1 and 5. And so I was like, I don't want to do that because it's, you know, I don't want to come home from work and then go straight to my computer, set up, get ready for the show and be, you know, ready to promote. And so I was just going back and forth and going, well, what am I going to do then? Because I don't want to stop producing comics. I don't want to stop making comics. It's true what they say. You got to have passion for it.
Yeah.
And I do. I mean, I love the medium. I love what it offers. I love that it's a thing that's still in a lot of ways decentralized and anyone can access it if they choose to do it. And I love that about the medium, you know, about what it offers.
I feel like comics too, like outside of let's say outside of Marvel and DC, you can take huge swings on crazy concepts in comics.
Yeah, exactly.
Like stuff that you can't do on like TV or movies necessarily anymore because Hollywood's like keeping everything like just bland and like everything's a reboot or like a superhero thing. You know what I mean? Like it's just,
no, absolutely, 100%. And the same curse is on in a lot of ways Marvel and in some ways DC because they're owned by conglomerate corporations.
Yeah.
And you know, if someone comes with a cool idea, for instance, like for a Marvel or DC character, and editorial goes, well, we got to get permission from, you know, Disney or you know, Paramount. Now Paramount. If they do if they do something too crazy, or sometimes editorial maybe no, we're not going to do that. You know, and that's the sad part. Where indie, I feel like that's where the creative spirit really is thriving. 100%. And I see it, man. I see the little sprouts in the garden popping up. You know, all these creators like, man, in a year or two, that guy that no one is talking about, no one is paying attention to, he's gonna blow up because I see his work and he's coming. He's coming, guys. And there's nothing gonna stop him when he goes on, when he finds his lane, you know.
You can always see it. Like even most recently, Tony Fleeks is a guy I kind of like. I don't know if you know that writer. He's a writer artist.
I recognize the Fleeks name, but I can't picture it.
He started with that Stray Dogs comic. And then also, I discovered him when he started Feral. It's an image.
Okay. Yes.
Have you ever read that?
I never read it, but I remember the artwork now. I remember seeing the artwork on my feed.
It's kind of an awesome book. It's like if you took the movie Homeward Bound and mixed it with a zombie movie, except the zombie elements is like an outbreak of rabies. So it's like a group of cats trying to find their way home during a rabies outbreak. Basically, it's amazing. It's an awesome.
Oh,
book.
That's cool. That is a cool.
And
concept.
my wife loves it too. But like, I started reading Feral, and I was like, okay, this guy is gonna be huge. I even tried to get him for my Comic-Con like 2 years ago before he blew up. But now he's already he's doing Deathstroke at DC. He's
there you
doing
go.
something else for DC, and I'm like, fuck, I knew it.
I know, right? Yeah,
you know, like, and like,
absolutely, man,
happening, you know. So, but yeah, you see guys like that all the time, and you just know they're coming, you know. Like
it's great too. It's great to see because it just goes to show that the passion is still there. You know, the love for comics is still there. It's just that not everyone's going to have the same passion as the rest of us. You know, we you know, I think it's safe to say that all the four of us here watching, and those who are watching possibly at home, watching the live stream, we fell in love with the medium, right? So our job as the elders, quote unquote, is to guide the youngins who are coming in. Like for instance, like I remember one time, speaking of going back to Absolute Batman, there was a cover B. I can't remember if it was cover B or C that I really wanted. It was the one where Bane. Absolute Bane was grabbing the logo. It was a callback to the Phoenix X-Men cover, and I wanted it bad. And I called the guy. I was like, "Hey, do you have any copies left?" He's like, "Yeah, I got some copies." Like, great. So after work, went straight there to get my copy, and they're all gone. And so I'm like, God, you know, I'm not cussing up a storm, but I'm like, damn it, I can't believe it. You know, I can't believe it. Who bought it? Who bought it?
You said you sent me one.
And the guy and the worker was like, actually, it was a couple of teenagers who came in after school and they discovered it and they bought it. And immediately I was like, all right, that's cool, man. All right.
You can't get mad at that. You can't get mad at that.
Yeah, I can know. Because for me, I was like, you know what? That 13-year-old who never seen a comic book before saw that cover and went, what's this? And picked it up. It's exactly the same thing that happened to me when I first discovered comics.
Just don't look at what it's going for on eBay, Julius. And you'll be
I know, man. It's all good. It's all good. I'm not a collector, you know. I love keeping them and reading them, but I'm sure it's worth a whole bunch of money now.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But it's all good.
Rarer ones, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure. I just wanted that cover because I liked that cover. The art was really good, but the fact that
when you get a good homage, you know,
yeah,
a good homage cover.
Mm-hmm.
But getting back to your point though, I feel you on like, I don't want to say campaign fatigue, but I was thinking that at first too, that I wanted to do like 2 or 3 a year, but now it's like, I'm becoming tough, like dude. You, where it's like it is tough, and it's like maybe 1 a year or 1 every other year is more realistic, you know, like, and just taking your time with it and maybe being realistic with the goal too, like, you know, maybe the days of $5,000 campaigns are behind us, you know.
I think so.
Like a $1,500 to $2,000 campaigns now.
That's probably more doable because, you know, of course, there's the other factors of backers who got burned. You know, they never got their stuff. They backed a bunch of 100%. Campaigns and never got their stuff, or late. I mean, I'm guilty of being late myself. So,
I'm
so all this stuff
with mine right now. So yeah,
see, there you go, there you go, dude. It's just because real life, man, it comes at you sometimes.
Yeah.
And so that's what so during my sabbatical, that's what I was just pretty much putting all the stuff on the table, like, you know, the pros and cons, all that, and then I just came to realize, like, oh, you know what? I don't like to sprint, but I do like to jog. So maybe if I approach this like a jog instead of a sprint, because that's what crowdfunding campaigns are. You got to go, sprint. Right. You got to get that goal funded, right? You got to get that stretch goal. You got to get that goal.
Got to hit it in the first 24 hours.
Exactly. So that way everything can be cruise after that. But if you're not, if you don't hit it the first week, then you got to sprint. You got to run. And so I was like, well, you know, I do like to, I like to jog. So maybe if I approach my comic book, I guess, career, my indie comic book career as a jog, then maybe I could pull this off. So I looked at my library. I realized I have like 4 books done. And my wife, of course, slapped me over the head and she told me, why don't you just open an online store and just start selling the books you already have? Yeah. I was like, oh yeah. Yeah. You know, that's right. What the hell? What am I thinking? So
what are you doing?
And so you know, because you know, sometimes when you get stuck on X, you kind of almost feel like that's the only place to be. Yeah, but when I opened up my TikTok shop, not my shop, my TikTok channel, just to check out the landscape, just see what the indie scene looked over there.
How is it, by the way? I have not even messed with TikTok.
Guys, I'm going to tell you this right now. It's a gold mine over there.
Is it really?
Because it's a bunch of 16 to 25-year-olds who discovered comic books.
Really?
And they're hungry to read them. So, really? Dude, that was the biggest like Wizard of Oz moment after, you know, Dorothy walks out from the black and white into the color. That's what it was for me for TikTok.
Oh wow!
It was like, a bunch of young new readers over here. You know, they're not jaded. You know,
step out of the dark, step into the light.
Yeah. And then of course there's everything's fractured now, so not everyone's in one place anymore. So you got your group in X, you got your group in Reddit, you got your groups in Facebook, and so on and so forth. So TikTok is one place where I discovered that there's a lot of unjaded, just like readers who are just like looking for stuff to read and check out because it's new to them, you know. And I saw it in the LA Comic Con last year when I went to LA Comic Con last year. I went to a vendor. I know a vendor there, and I was there talking with them, and I couldn't help but notice that the people looking through his back bins were all young 19, 20-year-olds.
Okay.
Just pulling out books. He sells $2 books. So that's all he sells. And of course the wall books are all the key issues that he has. Yeah. But he just like what I like about this vendor is that he finds the gems, and if he finds like doubles or triples, he puts the fancy one on the wall, and he puts the other ones in his back bins and lets people find them and sells them for $2.
Oh, cool.
And that's like, I love that,
It's like
dude.
a
I love that
treasure
because then
hunt.
they're
I
gonna
love
get a
that
chance
too.
to own that, you know?
Yeah, because
And
that's kind of cool. Like, because you like,
Paying it forward.
because you know, like when you go
Mhm.
to shows, sometimes most of those guys have cherry picked all those boxes.
Oh yeah, dude. And
Unless you get a vendor that says, "Oh, I just bought this collection. I have no idea what's in it," then you're like, "Oh, you know, like you're doing." this
yeah,
thing.
dude. Yeah,
But
exactly.
like most of the time, they know what's in there, and they know a lot of it's junk too. You know, so
Yeah.
that's cool that he does that. That's really cool.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, I found some good stuff there when just looking through, and I was like, $2? Are you sure this is $2? Because you know, I'm like, I know
Yeah,
what
you've
it
already
is, right?
know in your
And he's
head.
like,
Yeah,
no, yeah, it's $2. $2. Go ahead. Yeah,
Wow.
you want it? I was like,
All right.
sweet, I'll take it.
Yeah,
You
right.
know.
I feel like you're ripping them off.
No, but then you know, you look at his wall and it's right there for like
Yeah,
$50.
right.
You know, like so he that's what I like about that vendor because he gives back. You know, he buys the
But-
big bulk
so-
and he gives back.
So your point is that he like built an audience on TikTok doing that. Is that what it is?
No, that was just an example. But
Oh, I
going,
got you.
going back
Okay.
to what this was part of my research. What's
Okay.
going, you know, where are all the readers at? Because I had to go outside the X bubble. I had to go outside of that, you know, to survive and to thrive and grow. And then of course I decided, you know what, I got to get more active on my Substack newsletter. But I don't want to make just any kind of newsletter. I want to do something different, which is why I created Tales from the Ghetto, and I created my online shop. And so right now I'm currently redesigning the books I could streamline the look. So
Okay.
right now it's Asset 13 with the Samuel Zion 14-page preview. If you buy the print, it's right here. So it's ready to go. It's I'm gonna start shipping these books out by the end of May of this month. So
Okay.
that's the upside. And this was all out of pocket. You know, I pay out of pocket for this book, black and white. Price point was a key when I was during my sabbatical. I was like, I can't do color books. I can't afford it. So I got to stick with black and white. You know.
Now, are you having a trouble with that? Like, because I know audiences are it's like watching a black and white movie or a TV show.
Yeah.
Are you running into? I say personally, I love black and white, and I don't mind it at all. But comic fans are a little.
Yeah.
They can go either way with it. You know.
They can. I think what again, when it comes to promoting and marketing black and white comics, the best thing to do is lean into it. So this is what I call an outlaw comic.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah, good way to spin it. I got
outlaw
that.
comic, you know, black and white. Price point is on. You know, it's anyone can gain it, and the idea is to gain a grassroots support system for a Lucy comic and start to find these fans, these readers who are looking for something a little edgy, so looking for something a little dangerous, you know.
right.
And so a Lucy comic, and that's another thing. What is a Lucy comic? That was another question that was boggling my mind. What's my brand? What the hell did I name it a Lucy comic for? And there was a moment there. Yeah, and there was a moment there where I almost changed the name.
Really?
But my wife.
I get curious. What was the name going to be?
Yeah.
It was going to be called Ghetto Comics.
Okay.
Oh, I like ghetto comics though too.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
alternate reality, there's ghetto comics out there.
Yeah, exactly. But my wife was like, no, because you already established a Lucy comic. People already know you with that name. Why don't you just kind of rebrand a bit?
Well,
And
this is a great point too. Like black and white manga is all black and white. Like,
exactly.
It's like the biggest thing right now. It's bigger than DC and Marvel put together.
And this is a one shot. There's no lingering, you know, for book 2. This is it. Beginning, middle, end. And that's another thing. That's a good point that he mentioned about manga. And that's another thing that I started thinking about. Well, manga, the reason why manga is outselling American comics is because like I mentioned before earlier, is that readers like to have a beginning point. If I got into One Piece, I could just go to the comic shop and go and buy book, you know, One Piece book 1.
Yeah, give me number 1
and start there.
You don't have to buy Ultimate One Piece. You don't have to buy One Piece. Amazing One Piece web.
Yeah, exactly. And then you don't have to go on eBay and buy the first book for like $500 because it's a rare item now.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the same idea.
always in print. You know,
always
you
in
gotta think about
print.
that too. Like, yeah,
and it's the price point is I don't want to say cheap, but it's accessible. You know, because they sell so much, so it's accessible. $5, $10, and that's like for a book this thick, by the way. So you can't. It's a win-win for the reader and the publisher of manga. So I thought, okay, that's the edge that indie comic creators can have, and that is that we can't compete with the monthly releases of the floppies like Marvel and DC and Image and Dark Horse and et cetera, et cetera. We can't do that, right? We don't have the resources for it. If we did, we'd be able to do it, but we don't. We don't have the resources. They've been established since the 30s. They have it on lock and key. So what's the advantage that indie creators have is do one-shot books, one-shot graphic novel books, and which is what I'm going to start doing going forward.
I like Dave Campetti saying here. Hey, Dave, good to see you, man. Manga, you know, size being an issue. Okay to be black and white. Yeah, I get all that. Like, I think it's, you know, like I think that's why it's, you know, killing Western books, man. You get so much. What do they get? Like those books are what, 300 pages?
Yeah, close to 300 pages sometimes. Yeah,
but you also have to look at the way they're illustrated, though. They're very minimalistic. In some
like
of
the
those
backgrounds,
panels, like
just like lines, kind of.
Right, it's all lines or blank white backgrounds. Like you pick up a comic,
3
there's
panels
like
usually. Like maybe it's like 3 panels. Yeah.
Right. So we can't underestimate that either, right? And then you don't want to short traditional Western comics because again, like there's indie creative talent that's giving all sorts of different flavors.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. And so you never know who you're going to connect with in that regard. Like Julius, you're talking about the kid in the comic shop who sees the cover, right? I think back to myself being a little kid going into a shop, looking at Preacher #1, going, that's a dangerous book and I want to read that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
Like,
you got to think about too, even those
manga
Marvel
doesn't
ones.
do that. And you're not going to find something looking like Preacher in a manga type book.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I mean?
But you got to think of those, even those Marvel books, like those Spider-Man covers, like where someone would be choking Spider-Man over a building, over the ledge of a building, and you're like, shit, I got to see what's going on in this book, you know?
Or even just like look at any one of Steve Geiger's Spider-Man covers with Craven.
Yeah.
You know, it's just so like gritty and like something out of like a late 80s, early 90s action movie.
Yeah, right. Or even like, remember were you talking about Craven's Last Hunt or the
right?
Yeah, remember those covers are amazing, like Spider-Man coming out of the grave and all that stuff is like awesome stuff. But anyways, go back to what you were saying there, Julius, about
so now talking to briefly mention the crowdfunding. If like say this book does well, maybe I'll do a crowdfunding to color it. You know, and that will be a good selling point to grow the brand and grow the readership. So the name of the game for me and the Lucid Comic for 2026 and beyond is to build that strong foundational readership that I think every indie creator needs to build going forward. Because then if you deliver on good stories, quality stories, good art, a product that they can access to price point wise, and then and then create a buzz for yourself, then eventually the readers will start to like you mentioned Fleck, what's his name, Fleckus or
Tony Fleeks,
Tony Fleeks. I'm gonna look him up now and look up his old work because you mentioned him to me, you know, because you provided me the information, and now I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to check out this guy's earlier work to see what he did before.
Highly recommend, and I think they put a whole book together. You probably can get it cheaper on eBay, but the entire run of Local Man that he did with Tim Seeley.
With Tim Seeley, okay.
Unbelievable. One of my favorite books ever.
I know you said
that 90s Image.
I heard good things about that one.
I know you said that Asset 13 was like a one-off book, but there's great potential for a Grandma Curtis spinoff. I really believe. I want to know the backstory.
Now, for me that hasn't read it yet, is Grandma Curtis like a main?
Grams is was a character in the story. I'm not gonna give away what.
Yeah,
what,
don't give
what
away
she does.
too much. But it's
Yeah,
like,
but I'm happy to hear that she's getting a lot of love from people who've read the book. So I'm happy to hear that because she was so fun to write when I wrote the script.
If you have another story there, you never know. It might work.
Maybe I don't think so though. When you read the book,
oh yeah, I'll let you know. I still
it'll be a prequel, if anything.
Yeah,
I still have to read your Vigilant Fury. It's sitting upstairs.
Well,
in my pile of graphic novels, I feel bad that I haven't read it.
Oh, don't worry, man.
You sent it to me how many years ago at this point?
A few years ago. But hey, you have it, so that's all that matters.
One day you're going to get an email or a DM from me once I finally read it, and I will give you a full review. I will read it though. Mark my words.
Can you talk about the connection to other books in this book?
Yes,
there's that little thing you put at the end. I don't know if that's supposed to be a spoiler or not. But it felt like, you know what that felt like to me? The end of Split.
Okay.
When
just gonna say, does it feel like the Shyamalan thing that?
It felt like the end of Split when friggin' Bruce Willis was at the bar.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
And you didn't know that it was connected to Unbreakable. Yeah.
Right. So that's kind of like what made me feel that a little bit by putting that little note there. So I was just going to say, can you talk about that, or is that more of a spoiler?
No, I could. I'll have to be careful how I say it though.
Well, let me say it this way. So is the Lucid universe connected? All your
yes.
Books? Okay.
Yes. So the
universe.
The idea for 2026 is to re-release the books that I crowdfunded and fulfilled.
Okay.
In not a remastered, but just you make it look nice and make it like streamlined. Make it look actually streamlined and I guess similar in terms of like the formatting of the cover and the back cover. And so Ghetto Dragon, Vigilant Fury, Reset Protocol, Acid 13. It's all in the same universe, as well as Samuel Zeon. So even though there might not be there could be more Acid books. So I'm thinking Acid 14, Acid 5, that kind of stuff. And really explore that part of what would you say?
Acid reflux.
Acid reflux.
There.
I like that. Yeah, I like that. That could be. I feel like that's a John Chin. Comic.
Yeah. I was gonna say that's gonna be like the Mad TV parody. Parody.
You're bringing Don Chin for that one.
Calling Don Chin.
If Don Chin does it, I'm down. I'll be like, go for it, dude. Do it.
Amazing.
You know what I noticed too about all these books, all these stories. There's always like a twist at the end of each one of them. There's like however this happens. You think that this is happening, but however, the word however is in every like the description of the story. It's like for example, where are we here?
It's my favorite word.
Are you attacking his?
No, I'm saying there's a common string through all these stories. There's a twist.
Okay.
Each
but
one
I like a good twist if it's done right. Like I love twists that I can't see coming, which I can probably count on one hand that I didn't
like
see
Sixth
coming,
Sense.
That one I could kind of see.
That one was like, whoa, for me.
Yeah.
Which one?
I didn't see that one coming. Sixth Sense. I didn't see that one coming.
I'm trying to think of other ones that like kind of caught me off guard. Johnny's got one.
the problem with twist endings that in my personal opinion is that once you know it kind of doesn't ruin the movie, but it kind of ruins the rewatchability factor for me.
It does.
But and that's why
also, when there's a killer, like when it's like one of the who's the serial killer,
right?
They show a guy for like 2 seconds, as one scene with the main character. You're like, it's this guy. I just don't know why yet, but it's this guy. You know what I mean? Like it's so easy to see, like once you know the formula. But it's like it's trying to subvert you on top of that. You know, like if
Right.
there's movies that have done it that I was like generally shocked by a twist, but I can't think of one right now, you know, like off the top of my head. Not I don't think Shyamalan did one.
Well, you know, the one thing when you mention his name, like I keep talking about Signs. Like I hate that movie because you know, like you're an alien, you're an advanced alien from outer space, you know, coming to Earth. The one thing that can kill you is water, and that's the only thing you see from space. like the Earth is blue because of the water. Do your
There's
homework.
something else here, Harry, that was worth the risk.
Like
Yeah, right.
It's a pilot. I would shoot that pilot. You idiot! Didn't you do your homework, Spock? Come on.
Spock.
Yeah, right. But anyways, yeah. So yeah, we're getting into another whole twist thing, but I want to hear more about Julius's comic.
Well, one thing I wanted to say is that he employed a tactic that I absolutely love in comic storytelling, is that the title card is dialogue.
Oh, okay.
Oh, dude, I've always wanted to do that, man, and I finally had the opportunity to do it in this book. I was so happy that it worked out. Honestly, I'm so happy that you point that out.
Dude, I love that. I did a whole trilogy of stories in Cthulhu is Hard to Spell where they all hinged on the final page being the title card, but also being a line of dialogue. So it was so super hard to construct. And I pulled it off.
Sure.
And I love when I see people do that, dude. So props on that one too.
Invincible has a good twist. Yeah, Amy reminded me like
Invincible. Right.
Invincible,
Invincible had one of the best twists for sure.
Yeah, no one saw that coming, which was amazing, you know.
Yeah. And then the great thing about that, it didn't ruin the rereadability
of it.
of the story. You can reread it again over and over again. It doesn't matter because the story is so solid.
And I love, not to get on a tangent about Invincible, but goddamn, I love how I love Omni-Man's whole friggin' arc from the end of the series. It's amazing. You know, how do you take a despicable character like that and make him kind of likable again? Like it's just
that's hard to do, man. That's a challenge for every writing gig. You know?
Yeah, such a hard thing to do.
It's what's his name did it for the movie Traffic, for the Kevin Dillon character or he was the crooked cop who assaulted the woman in the first half of the movie, but then in the end he saves her from the burning car.
Right.
And which was like amazing that he did it within the movie. That was really impressive, you know.
Film,
really good piece of writing on his part.
Yeah, we're Invincible. It's like over the course of 100 and something issues, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, great stuff. So, but no, I like your come to Jesus moment, like just
it was definitely that moment.
Figure out what. Because you love comics, you didn't want to go away, and I get that. And it's just finding what works for you and what you can work. You know, like I think Substack is the way to go. Like I've often thought about starting a newsletter myself, but then like I feel like it's either I do the YouTube show with these guys or I do that. Like I can't kind of do both. I'm already at my limits with
everything,
promotion,
socials, everything.
You know what I mean?
And the socials feel fruitless. Sorry to step on you, Keith. I was just saying,
they do. Yeah, they do.
Fruitless.
Yeah, I agree. You gotta. Unfortunately, they're depending on the platform you're on. So, for instance, like X, the algorithm is built in a way where you kind of have to be a controversial prick to get movement on your posts.
Yeah, and then if you do that, but if you go that route, like that's
then
what
you get
become.
Yeah,
that's what you become, and like and no one cares about your comic, like you know what I mean? Like
you're selling your personality, not the book.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, kudos to the people who can do both, but I can't do both. I can't do that.
Do it either. And then like and to get to that kind of reality, how often you got to be online? How often do you have to be live?
That's
like,
key.
It's just not for me.
That's key. Yeah, I mean that's unfortunately the name of the game now, and that's we can't work around that. We have to use it to our advantage. And the Substack thing, what if you want some advice from me to you regarding time and everything, I wrote the first like 6 posts like 6 months ago. So
did you really? Wow.
Yeah, so it's just a matter of okay, writing them, getting them done ahead of time, and then scheduling the post out. So that way you have
you're being ahead of yourself. That's great.
Yeah,
That's
you get ahead of it, and then you're not playing catch up.
Yeah.
So I posted the first Tales from the Ghetto last week. So the next week will be the next post of that. And now I'm working on my 7th and 8th and 9th because they're going to be short. Oh, wow. They're going to be really short. But
are you holding yourself to a schedule with it? Are you going to try to release something once a month?
No, I'm doing. I'm trying to hold a schedule because I think that's key to because the American readership, we've been conditioned for consistency. If we're not consistent, if a book is not being released consistently, we lose interest real quick and we move on to the next
absolutely.
thing. 100%. And so that's why I decided, okay, do I want to sprint or do I want to run a marathon? And that's why I thought a marathon, even though you're going slower, you're still going, you're still progressing.
Yeah, like you're keeping you're imposing a goal for yourself that's attainable, not like unattainable. Like I feel like you're right about consistency, and I think that's why our show has grown to this level,
right?
Is because we have been doing a show every other week or every week for like 6-7 years now, like
consistently.
Consistently, exactly.
We're at his limit. That's a joke that me and her have from the chair company. But anyways, the have you seen that show? It's so
no,
funny.
But I kind of want to know what the inside joke is.
Well, you got to see it. It's such a funny show. Do you know Tim Robinson at all?
Tim Robinson humor.
It's Tim Robinson humor. He was in that movie Friendship. He had a sketch comedy show on Netflix called I Think You Should Leave.
No, I never heard of.
Oh, check it out.
If you have Max, watch the Chair Company.
Okay, I do have Max, so I'll check it out for sure. Chair Company. Got it.
There's a guy like he runs into that is a clerk for a retail store, and he's talking to him about shirts, and he's like showing him like this shirt is. It was a fat guy because he was at his limit. That's how he says. So whenever I put a new shirt on, he's like, okay. You're at your limit, like,
okay, I see.
So it's like kind of like a joke. But anyway,
check that out for sure.
But I was gonna say, like, I agree with you as far as like pacing and doing something that you can actually keep up with. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I do want to grow. Want to grow. I'm right now I'm a one-man team, but I do want to grow eventually to become a production company, be able to hire, other writers to help me write out the stuff that I want to write out, or
start pooling money so like you don't have to.
And actually like hire an artist and up and coming artist, obviously not an established one, but maybe an artist I could find on social media and sign them into a deal. Like, hey, how about you draw for me for a year and I'll keep you on some kind of income, like a guaranteed income kind of deal, where but you gotta deliver the pages at a certain rate, at a certain turnaround rate, which is another important factor for writers like myself and everyone else who writes and pays to produce their own comics. Is that it's very hard to find artists who are also consistent in their turnaround page rate. Like, how many pages can you give me a week? And then you got to, obviously keep that going, because a lot of the times, where you got the momentum going, and all of a sudden they ghost you. And you're like, hey, is everything all right? Is everything good? And so it's very hard to come by. And that's why I was so grateful to find Greg Warrenchak, the artist of this book. He real quick for the backstory as to how this book was made was when Chris Hicks hired me, he wanted to make it into a B horror movie, an independent B movie. That's what he wanted to do. That was his vision. Okay. And so my job was to help him clean up his outline that he wrote out and write the screenplay for him. That was what I was hired for. So that's what we did. We worked back and forth. he didn't really have Acid 13's backstory yet. He just had the story, which is what you see in the book. And he let me have some fun with the backstory. That's why I have the backstory that I have. And he loved it. And we went ahead and I wrote the screenplay, gave it to him, did my job. He went out to do what he needed to do to get, funding for it. And then something happened where he couldn't do it. He had to drop the project. And so fast forward a year and a half, maybe 2 years after that, I'm cleaning out my hard drive and I find the screenplay and I reread it just to see if it held up, And after finishing it, I was like, damn, I'm proud of this work. This is really good. Like this holds up. And so I decided maybe if I can adapt it into a comic book, I could get this done. And so I emailed him saying, hey man, I just want to let you know that, is it okay if I can take this and make it into a comic book? And he was like, go for it, dude. Handle it. Go for it. You have my blessing. Do it. Whatever you want to do, go ahead. You have my permission. So I was like, sweet. So before I can even start to look for an artist, I get a message from Greg Warrenchak, and he tells me, hey man, I'm an artist looking for work. I saw your post. I saw your page. I think you and I can work well together. So if you have anything that's available, just let me know. And I was like, well, I do have this Acid 13 story. So
nice.
I pitched him the story. Well, first I looked at his website to look at his artwork. And yeah, when I saw that he drew a bunch of like zombie stuff and horror stuff, I was like, okay.
This is the guy.
The stars are aligning for me. And so I pitched him the story. He said, I love it. He was also a huge John Carpenter fan, which was perfect. And he delivered, man. He was very industrious, which I was very grateful for. 2 pages a week. That's what he kept giving me. And he never failed. If anything, I failed because there was times where I hit an economic barrier where I had to pay for some other stuff. And so he waited for me. He was like, you know what, man? I'm going to keep doing this. You just catch up to me later. And I was like, cool.
That's cool.
Cool,
that's
man.
Super cool of him to do that.
And that's why I was able to finish this. I finished this last year. This was done a year ago. I just didn't know how to sell this yet, because I was focused on the Ghetto Dragon. I was focused on all that other stuff. And so
I think you found clarity, man. I think you need to take that step back and
thank
figure
goodness
it out for yourself.
Yeah.
One point I wanted to make about newsletter too, like I did do one for a short time, maybe like less than a year. And this is going back maybe, I don't know, 5 years ago, like when I was trying to do everything when I was still with Alterna and all that.
Oh, right.
I was trying to do a YouTube channel. I was trying to do this. And, I did a newsletter for like a year. And one thing I did notice about it, was that it was reaching people that I know never saw a post of mine on Facebook or Twitter or anything like that. So it was people that I only interacted with over newsletter. So there is a way, the one thing about those is they do cut through the noise if you can get the person to actually receive them in their email.
Yes. In my research, the number one thing was email lists.
Yeah.
That's the number one thing. If you can get a large email list and
then like half of them are good and half of them are junk.
Yeah. So if you get 500 on your email list, 250 of those will probably buy your book no matter what because they like your stuff.
Exactly. If you can get to them and if you can get them to read that newsletter every other week or whatever time you put it out, then you got something. If they start commenting on it, things like that,
It's a modern day letters page. That's what you have to look at.
Really
it. That's how I started looking at it. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna treat this like a letters page, but it's for the 21st century because they don't have to send me through snail mail. They could just, like you said, leave a comment on the post and interact with them. And so far, so good. So far, it's starting up.
The major comic guys still do it. Like I get newsletters from like Jeff Lemire every once in a while, or because
they know the power behind it. They understand.
They do. They built it up from when they were where we are. So it definitely has power. But I feel like doing this too is a power too. Like like we're kind of cutting through noise. Right now we got like 40 people watching us. I don't know,
which is amazing. Thank you everybody right now who's watching this.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. and
Don't
staying
forget to, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe to the Indie Comics Relay
yeah,
channel.
absolutely.
Thank
And
you,
watch this
Julius.
one.
Yeah.
Looking good looking out, man.
Yeah, man. I know, dude. I know the pain. I know the struggle.
Well, but like you said, it's consistency and just doing it, you know, like and keep but we can, you know, use this as our newsletter, you know, me and John.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to do that. I mean, I just copy and paste my videos to my Substack newsletter, and so that way, if they want to check it out, they could just hit play or click on the link.
And now you're giving me thoughts about maybe looking into TikTok for like making shorts.
Dude, I know it's an added layer to the immense amount of like social media platforms we have, but it really is rich with like I said, new readers who are hungry, who are looking for new stuff. I mean, not just new stuff, but you know, just something like comic book related.
Yeah,
you know, they're young. They're like, what? This is cool. This is a cool thing. I never knew this existed. You know,
exactly.
I'll give you an example. I saw a video last week of a guy who was obviously from the ghetto because of his accent and the way he was talking. And he was like, yo, I can't believe this, man. And he was like, he just had a camera facing the Absolute Batman cover. And he was like, I can't believe that no one told me that comic books were this lit. Look at this. Look at it. And he was like turning the pages. He was like, I can't believe that no one told me that comic books were this lit. Like dog, I can't believe. He was like, he was like so excited about it. And it was like, you know what, man? That's awesome that he discovered
it is
that,
awesome.
you know,
that's that awesome Nick Dragotta artwork too.
Yeah, and so immediately I followed him because I was like, well, there's a potential buyer, you know, maybe.
Yeah,
we got to learn the lingo too, Keith. If we do TikTok, we got to learn the young person's lingo.
Yeah,
like,
for sure,
for
sure.
That's lit. All right, look at that. Look at that guy's drip.
Yeah,
guy's drip.
Whatever.
Harry, I know a few. I know. Like we're cooking, you know, we're cooking or we're cooked, you know, that's the one that they always say now.
Just beware, it's very easy to get lost in TikTok because there's a lot of cool stuff in there that sometimes ends up in your feed and you end up like, oh, what's this? And you start going to a bunch of little rabbit holes, you know?
Yeah. That's the thing. Like I don't
it's kind of like
one for Plastic City, but I never do anything with it. But maybe I'll look into doing both. Like maybe.
It's kind of like when on Family Guy when Quagmire discovered internet porn, you know. He never left his house. I forgot.
Seriously, oh, dude, your Plastic City Comic Con would do so well on TikTok. You know, you just recording and like recording the event and the guests. People on TikTok love that stuff, man. Yeah, a lot of stores on there now. They live stream. Yeah. A lot of stores live stream on there.
Yeah,
video games,
whatnot is
great
stuff
now
like that too.
What's that?
What's that, Johnny?
I was just say video game stores. They're doing like these shorts where they'll do like literally like 15 seconds gives like a fun fact about like a video game or something. You know what I mean? It's just like quick, digestible content.
I also.
Like I'm already cutting shorts for our YouTube channel and Twitter and stuff. It's like
that'd be perfect. That'd be perfect for TikTok.
Just throw those on TikTok.
Yeah, you already have a whole library. Just send them over there. And I already found one guy on TikTok, a TikToker who actually doesn't review books. He discovers them and reads them, and then talks about the impact that he's left with after reading it.
That's cool.
So it's like, so it's great to see, it's fantastic to see. And it's a lot of potential there. Really, there really is. Don't be stuck. And this is not just to you guys, but to everyone listening who are thinking about making comic books or whatever. Don't be daunted by all the social media platforms there. Use their tools. There are tools to get you exposed to readers who do not know who you are. So if you have a library of books that you already have sitting in your hard drive, or if you're an artist or a writer, figure out ways to find your niche and find your fit, and go out there and see what sticks. There's no one size fits all. You got to just find what you like to do and just put yourself out there, and people will see if it's authentic. And if you remain authentic, then they'll just start flocking your way, because that's people like authenticity.
Couldn't have said it better, man. That's awesome. I know we're going really late tonight.
Yeah, sorry.
Crazy,
But you know what? It's like it's good
such
conversation.
a good conversation.
We've
though.
got
Yeah.
40 people watching. You know, like what? You know what I mean?
But I do want to start wrapping it up. Like Julius, anything else you want to tell us about your rediscovery of like your brand and anything else that you wanted to mention?
Yeah. You know, I realized the main thing was fun. I want this to be fun, you know, and so Asset 13 is the beginning of the new, I guess, Lucid comic universe of introducing this character, because we will see this character again. Just we might see them in the Ghetto Dragon book. We might see him in the Vigilant Fury book, because all these foundational books I'm going to re-release. Because after this, it's Samuel Zeon. I'm releasing Samuel Zeon after this, because Samuel Zeon is done as well. That's a done book.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do with Samuel Zeon is I'm going to do, of course, the pre-order on my website, and I have this idea, and I hope it works. But I'm not going to reveal what it is yet until I'm ready to do it. But once I do, I'll ask to come back on, and then we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
And then
anytime.
Yeah, and then after that, it's going to be Vigilant Fury, and then Reset Protocol, and then Ghetto Dragon, and it's growth for 2026 for Lucid Comic, and I'm hoping that I can find new readers who are looking for, again, stories that are a little dangerous, a little edgy, because I think that's the if we really want to compete with the other, the big two and the other indie books that are out there, you got to be a little bit, you got to stick out a little bit, you know? And so yeah, guys, I mean, right now, Asset 13 is in pre-order. So if you order your copies today, you'll get them within a month or two.
Yeah, let me. I think I have your website up here. Let me share the link. It's the elucidcomicshop.com.
It's a Lucid Comic Shop, yeah. And also, if you sign up to my Substack, you'll get a 15% off discount code to when you order your copy of Asset 13.
Oh, cool.
So after the pre-order, once I close this one, I'm currently working with a print-on-demand website where this will go down to 48 pages, because right now it's 67 pages total with the Samuel Zeon preview. But once this is fulfilled and I'm done fulfilling all these books to people who order them from now until possibly mid-June, then it's going to go back to the 48 pages without the preview.
And let me say, I've gotten a couple of your Substacks already, and it is a good Substack. It's not just like a shill for everything. It's just here's a story from my life, you know, like I got real content there. Like
it was time, man. It was time.
Some of the stories you're gonna tell on there.
Yo, dude, I can't wait for you to share those stories. You know, my older brother.
I am reading it. I am a reader of your Substack. So
oh, good, man. Thank you.
That's one thing I am keeping up with.
Okay, cool, cool.
I will read Vigilant Fury, and I will read Asset 13, and then I will definitely give you my opinion on that. You know, once I do it. I think the only thing actually I've only read from you is Ghetto Dragon, and I love that. So
Ghetto Dragon's my favorite.
I can't wait to release that one. Book 2 has slowed down pencil wise, so I'm hoping that the revenue that I get from these books that I sell will eventually go back to it's all about reinvestment as well.
Yeah, right.
So the revenue I get in, I want to reinvest into producing more stories, and if we really want to have the edge on indie comics, again, consistent new books. I gotta turn them out. One shot, no more than 40-page stories. So one shot, 40-page stories, and close-ended. So little seeds, you know, in case there's a readership who's hey, are there be any more of this? Then I could expand on it. But for now, I kind of see it as I see myself like an independent film studio who's going to just release these small movies and see what sticks. And I got some stuff cooking up. So I'm excited for 2026.
Comics, A24 comics.
Kind of like that, yeah. A little bit like that. A little bit like that, yeah.
Julius, are you gonna be making any convention appearances this year?
Maybe it depends on the size of the convention and how quick I can get a table. Because I know the bigger the con, the longer the wait period is to get a spot, and the more expensive it is as well. Because the real estate is really expensive nowadays, especially in California. And so, if I could find the hotel ones, the small ones, and if I get in, then yeah, for sure, I'll be.
They're out there. You just probably gotta look. You know, you gotta check out.
Oh, they're everywhere, man. It's just that right now I'm focused on the online store, and again, just trying to sell a Lucid comic out to people who are looking for something that they don't want to wait 6 months or 2 years for the book, for the crowdfunding.
Yeah,
and then so right now I'm thinking about Ghetto Dragon Book 2 crowdfunding that maybe at the end of the year, because it just can depend, man. Like right now everything's so up in the air nation-wise.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of seeing, okay, I'm gonna see what's gonna happen later in the year and see.
Gas
price of gas alone.
Right.
Oh, dude,
Just
kill everybody. Yeah.
My gosh, man, it's ridiculous at this point right now. So
no, it's terrible. But anyways, Johnny, Harry, anything you guys want to mention? Because we're way over. I'm looking.
Oh yeah, not this week then. Yeah.
No, we're good. We're good.
You were good. Okay. I just wanted
to cover all my bases. I think everybody should check out this book. Julius is one of my absolute favorite writers.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what he's cooking up here is really cool.
And
especially if you like slasher movies, and if like Friday the 13th is your jam, then this is your book.
Yep. And then also I recommend the Substack too. If you're looking, I know not everyone's looking to add another newsletter, but
yeah, but it's not your typical newsletter. It's not your typical newsletter. I wanted to do something different.
It's very personal, which I like. And I think that's why it's worth checking out. It's just not just like, here's a link to my new stuff and then this.
Yeah,
and then,
right. It's a personal story of how comics shaped me while I was growing up in the ghetto. And it did. It did, and that's why, real quick, I know we want to end off, but my older brother, who was my guardian, if you want to call it that, in that world, he's the one that always made sure that I was protected, because I was the weird kid who read comic books in his room.
You know what's funny? To that point, like I didn't realize until years later, so many people loved comics, but they were so scared to admit it.
Dude, it's so how times have changed, huh?
Yeah, dude. There's a guy that comes into my shop now that I know from because I used to go to the gym all the time.
Yeah,
and I would bring comics and read them on the bike while I'm working out.
Oh, nice!
And this guy would see me, and he would think, "Oh man, that is so fucking cool that someone does that." And here I am thinking, I'm a loser. I'm around all these jocks, a loser reading comics on the bike. But this guy was saw me, he thought it was cool, So
that's cool.
People that it's kind of they think it's cool now. So
It's the thing now. So and I love it. I love that that's a thing now. But it's just that
I do too. I love that it's not you don't have to hide it anymore.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I remember that. Woo, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
People discovered what we love, right?
Yeah, especially in the ghetto. Especially in the ghetto. Like if they found out I was reading comic books in the ghetto, forget about it.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
forget about it, man.
It's like that old Chris Rock joke about going to community college. Have you ever heard that?
No, I never heard that one. No,
from coming out of jail, then going to community college. What do you read? You read?
Yeah.
When you my math stuff, kind of stuff. So goddamn funny. But one little thing I want to say before we close it out too, just a reminder: we are back next Monday. We usually do the bi-weekly thing, but because of Memorial Day, we're going to be next Monday night. Right. So that we can enjoy our Memorial Day weekend and stuff, I'm sure all you guys are off as well as, and who's watching YouTube on Memorial Day?
People are barbecuing, having a good time.
Exactly. No one's going to be watching YouTube. Sure. So just one final note. Check out Julius's website and Substack. Also, first guest Enrique. Check out his convention schedule, his crowdfunding campaign, and his website. All of that is in the description below. If you're watching this tomorrow,
remember hit the thumbs up.
Hit the like, subscribe. That's always appreciated. Even if you guys are watching us on X or Facebook, come on over to the Indie Comics Relay YouTube channel and just hit subscribe. It just helps us, and just helps us grow and reach more readers and, you know, more great indie creators like Julius here, you know.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. That's all I got. So, yeah, read comics, everybody. And we'll see you next Monday.
All right.
All right. Good night, everybody.
See you
And
guys.
come back to us next Monday. All right. Good night.
Bye.